Director General, for taking the preliminary so that we can go faster. Let me just say that let me make my apologies. I had a checkup this morning, and I thought I would be finished by 11:30, but turned out it went a little bit more than it should have. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our fifth hearing and our inquiry on the non-implementation of RA 11235, as well as possible malfeasance, misfeasance, and nonfeasance in previous biddings conducted by the LTO, the OTR, on the matter of plates, and on the matter of the other aspects of the operation of the Land Transportation Office. We had the first hearing on 8 February, 16 February was the second hearing, third hearing was 22 February, and now March 2 hearing was our fourth hearing. Now, this is our fifth hearing. This is a continuation, therefore, of the previous hearings, which we suspended. And having had all the people sworn that need to be sworn, let me make my prefatory statement. Matagal at mabagal na pag-implementa ng mga batas natin, especially itong RA 11235 at yung mga administrative order na pinatutupad ng LTO, katulad ng bigla-biglang pagbabago ng pangkalahatang plaka ng buong Pilipinas, ay nagpapalala sa kultura ng impunity na kasalukuyang namamayani sa ating bayan. Patayan ng patayan, wala namang nahuhuli. Dito tayo nagsimula, kaya nabuksan ito mga paksain ito sa patayan. At pumasok na tayo ngayon sa korupsyon. Sa huling pagtatala ng aming opisina, base sa mga nauulat sa mga balita, at taong ito na ang mga namamatay sa riding in tandem. Mga tao nakasakay sa motorsiklo, wineponize yung motorsiklo at pumatay ng mga tao, pero pa yung mga nangaagaw ng bag o nangaagaw ng telepono at iba pa. So far, as of today, on January 1 alone, we have had 93 victims ng riding in tandem, 71 ang patay, 20 ang sugatan, at 2 ay nakatakas ng walang sugat. 52 civilians have been killed, 10 police officers, 13 government officials, 8 government employees, 1 teacher, 1 unionist, 3 businessmen, 1 engineer, 3 businessmen, 1 engineer, 1 farmer, 1 pare, at 2 abogado. Hindi natin sinasama yung mga nakaraan na lampas-lampas na ng tens of thousands yung mga napapatay, at pati na yung mga abogado ay nag-aaklas at mga abogado. Hindi mahuhuli ang mga riding in tandem dahil walang plaka. Sa totoo lang, matagal lang walang plaka. Noong 2014 pa, walang plaka. At hindi napatupad yung administrative order na baguhin lahat ng plaka. Nung nakaraang hearing, sinimulan natin ang usapin sa issue ng motor vehicle license plate standardization program sa siyang nagsimula ng kawalan ng plaka. Pero sa ngayon, patuloy pa rin ang kawalan ng plaka sa motorsiklo, although may dumarating na papatak-patak at pati na rin sa mga other motor vehicles. Ayon sa ulat ng COA na ito ang mga na-deliver at dinadeliver na plaka sa December 31, 2020. Marami pa rin hindi nag-deliver ng plaka, nade-deliver na plaka. Kayo ba nakakuha niya, yung mga nakikinig at nanonood, nakakuha na ba kayo ng inyong mga plaka? Na halos bayaran nyo na ng 2 beses pero wala pong plaka. Makikita natin sa board, pakita nyo lang yung sharing screen natin. That in 2014, lumalabas na mga motor vehicles na na-deliver ay 2,314,139. Yan ang mga plaka na deliver, di umano 58%. At ang hindi na deliver ay 1,672,549 or 41.95%. Napaka hindi maganda ang ratio, no? Sa mga motorsiklo, undelivered yung mga plaka ng 1,300,000 or 100% ang i-deliver. At meron tayong mga data sa 2015, 2016, 2017 na mukhang hindi, 2016 na hindi napasama rito ngayon pero lalabas siya mamaya. Yung ating mga motor vehicles na dineliver in 2017 na plaka ay 1,774,474 at naka 100% tayo noong nakaraang taon. 2018, 1,800,000. Di umano naka 100%. 2019, 1,845,000. Ito yung mga motorcycle na ito. 70.14%. Ang undelivered ay 785,693 or almost 30%. In 2020, ang mga motorsiklo hindi nag-deliver. Nag-deliver sila, undelivered ay 2,024,200 or 100% ang hindi pa na i-deliver. Kahit saan bundok ka magpunta, nakakahiya itong record na ito. Ayaw ko kung pinagmamalaki ba ito ng LTO, dapat lahat ng kawani ng LTO at ang Department of Transportation ay dapat pansinin ito at magmuni-muni kayo na talaga mukhang walang performance. Natapos na ang dating administrasyon at matatapos na ang kasalukuyang administrasyon. Hanggang ngayon, wala pa rin tayong plaka. Hindi pa din maayos ang suliraning ito na pinanggagalingan ng madaming krimen. Kung hindi ngayon, maayos kailan pa. Hintayin pa ba natin mas lalo pang mamamatay ang ilan, libo-libo bago masolusyon ng ito? Hindi ba parang na-estafa ang tao? Pinilit sila magbayad ng plaka ng 2 beses pero wala pa rin silang natanggap na plaka. Sa pagtataya ng aming committee ngayon, nangyayari ito dahil may habit sa LTO na magtatag ng monopolya or monopoly. Tulad ng natatalakay na natin sa MERDOS, manufacturers, assemblers, importers, resellers, dealers, and other entities. Black coffee, please. At ngayon, monopolya sa kontrata ng mga plaka sa pamamagitan ng proprietary nature, di umano ng kanilang order management system na hindi pwedeng ipasa ng walang pahintulot ng dating proprietor. Dahil sa proprietary nature ng order management system, wala nang ibang contractor na pwedeng magtagumpay na makapag-bid dito dahil proprietary ang order management system sa dating bidder. Bakit pinayagan ng LTO yan sa ng DOTR? Alam nila yan ang mangyayari. At nakita natin na hindi maayos ang patakaran ng turnover ng mga proseso sa bagong contractor. Matagal lang tapos ang lumang kontrata, pinagkakitahan pa din ang mga ito ng mga proseso sa LTO. Itong monopoly na ito ay tinatawag natin na regulatory capture. According to regulatory capture is a form of government failure where those bodies regulating industries become sympathetic or practically captive to businesses they are supposed to be regulating. Regulatory capture can mean monopolies can continue to charge high prices to the detriment and in great disadvantage of the people. The opposite of regulatory capture is public interest theory. The idea that government regulation can influence monopolies to behave in the public interest. Ayaw natin na ang interest ng ilan ang magahari sa LTO. Sa kamangapala, hindi yan ang nakikita natin sa ngayon. Hanggang ngayon, wala pa rin tayong mga plaka. Simula ng issue ng hindi pag-implementa ng RA 11235, madami tayong nabalatang madaming pang ibang problema sa LTO kaya susunod pa mga hiling ay tatalakayan pa ito. Among them are IT problems sa LTO, PMVIC, where Senator Post Committee in response to speech had referred to the committee the issue of accountability of public officers even as we take jurisdiction over its motu proprio. Public Transport Organization, kasama dito ang LTFRB, pang mga problema na dito ang LTO, and I would like to see them again. We continue with our hearing therefore today, and we shall start having our guest answer a few questions, if you will. I'd like, I see Rene Banson. I was told that Rene Banson, a businessman, is already there. Can you please stand up and raise your hand and take your oath before the Director General of the Public Accountability Committee, Blue Ribbon Committee?
Good afternoon, Your
Mr. Rene Banson,
Yes, present, Your Honor.
can you stand up and raise your hand? All right.
Do you swear,
go
Mr.
ahead.
Banzon, do
Yes,
you
sir.
swear or affirm? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Isa-summarize ko lang at gusto kong masagot ng malinaw itong mga tanong na ito. Tungkol dito sa mga bidding na ginawa ninyo. At ito ay napatunayan na, pero gusto kong malinaw na manggaling sa mga bibig ninyo ang mga nangyari sa nakaraan. Andiyan ba si Arthur Tugade, Secretary Tugade? Director General? Is he there?
Mr. Chair.
Secretary Tugade, are you there?
No, sir, he's not.
All right. Sec Mark Steven Pastor.
Present, Your Honor. Good afternoon po, Mr. Chair.
Can you turn on your TV, please, so I can see you?
It's already on, Mr. Chair. My camera is already on.
All right. Okay. Mr. Yebra, Attorney Rene Paul Yebra, I can see you there. Can you raise your hand again?
Yes.
Mr. Yebra.
Yes.
Thank you. Attorney Andrea Nicole Rivera.
Not here, Your Honor.
What about former Secretary Abaya?
Your Honor, he's not here.
Were they subpoenaed?
No, sir, they were sent invitations through their email addresses. The email addresses did not bounce back, and our assumption is that the system received them. Of the former officials of the DOTC, only former Yusek Jose Perpetuo and Blutilla is present, Your Honor.
Sorry?
Former Undersecretary Jose Perpetuo and Blutilla.
And who else? And who else?
Of the former officials, Your Honor, only Mr. Lutilla is present, Your Honor.
So Mr. Karingal is absent. Mr. Tan is absent. Back.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr.
Mr. Karingal sent an excuse letter that there is a mandatory seminar for judges and scheduled today and tomorrow, and therefore he will not be able to attend our hearing.
Well, he's not going to get off lightly. When did he send it? When was this sent?
Sorry, sir.
When was this sent?
The emails and the
I think the Director General should be a little tight. When we invite somebody and they don't show up, the next thing that they're going to get is a subpoena. Isn't that the policy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is the first time that they have been invited, sir.
I was under the impression that they have been invited before. Karingal attended the last meeting.
Your Honor, Mr.
Correct?
Lutilla was. Your Honor, Mr. Lutilla was the only person who we were able to contact last time, Your Honor.
No, Mr. Lutilla was there last time and Mr. Karingal was there. Did you drink your medicine this morning, Director General?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. The notes I get is that insofar as former Secretary Abaya is concerned, he's been invited only for the first time.
All right, that's the case then. At the next meeting, I would like to see him because he's a friend, and I want to give him the chance to be able to speak up for himself. Is Mr. Alfonso Tander, former ASEC.
No, sir.
This is an investigation. This is not a hearing. Go ahead.
Your Honor, only Mr. Lutilla is here of the previous administration, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Lutilla. I suggest that we send a subpoena to all these people at the next hearing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Attorney Rene Mcauco, are you there? I just have to make sure that on the record that you have not attended. I do not want to
He's
have
not here, Your
to
Honor.
use the legal processes, but if they don't show up, we just have to do it. Mr. Padu Jr., Ildefonso Padu.
He's not here too, Your Honor.
Ito binigay sa akin. Secretary Galvante is there, I'm sure.
Yes, sir, he is.
Thank you very much. Well, I have Secretary Lopez. I don't think we invited Secretary Lopez anymore. Why are they here?
No, sir, but they are on standby. Requested them
Maan
to...
gave me a list that of all these people. That's why I'm a little bit irritated. That why do I have to call all these people? You have a staff there, Director General, that should be able to check who these people are, so that before we even attend, we know who's attended and who did not.
Sir, we have a Google Doc where we have marked the names of persons who are currently here, Your Honor.
I don't have it. Are those the ones you that you read? I didn't hear it.
I can read them, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead, please.
From the Commission on Audit, we have Attorney Ridgway Marabe, Attorney 5, Attorney Melissa San Miguel Salunga, OIC Supervising Auditor, Department of Transportation Audit Group 1, Ms. Ninita Talion, Audit Team Leader, Land Transportation Office, and Ms. Emily Gardose, OIC Audit Team Leader of DOT and DOTR. From the Land Transportation Office, we have ASEC Edgar Galvante.
Excuse
and
me.
Attorney...
Can the two ladies please raise their hands while you say their name so I can know them?
Attorney Melissa San
Can you
Miguel
repeat?
Salunga. Your Honor, Attorney Melissa San Miguel Salunga.
Okay. Can you speak? Say you're here. Don't try to stand up. Don't try to live up to your name. Nasa lunga. You like that, huh? Sige. I'm here, sir, is the answer. You know, you have to press the button. This is the year 2021. Nowadays, you press buttons.
I'm here, sir.
Thank you very much. Melissa, thank you. I'm just trying to make you happy. Go ahead.
Ninita Talion, Audit Team Leader, Land Transportation Office.
Nenita, please raise your hand so I can see you. There you go. And you're there, right? Don't raise your eyebrows with me. Just say, I'm here, sir.
I'm here, sir.
Good. I'm glad to know that you are not mute. Go ahead.
Ms. Emily Gardose, OIC Audit Team Leader of DOT and DOTR.
I'm here, sir.
Ms. Gard. Okay, so go ahead.
From the Land Transportation Office, Assistant Secretary Edgar Galvante is here, Your Honor.
I'm here, sir.
Yes, I know. Thank you.
Also present is Attorney Romeo Veracruz, Executive Director, Attorney Mercy Jane Paras Laines, Chief Operations Division, Victor Emmanuel Caindec, Regional Director, LTO
Would
Region
you-
7.
Would you people please kind of exercise your senses, not just raise your hand, so I can please see you because it's very hard. You're like on a rose gallery here with all your pictures. Go ahead. Who was the one who raised her hand last? Miss Gardose. After Miss Gardose,
After
Miss
Miss
Lena?
Gardose, after Miss Gardose, sir, are the people from LTO.
after Miss Gardose is Gartrese. Who are the people from LTO?
Assistant Secretary Edgar Galvante,
Yeah.
Attorney Romeo Veracruz, Executive Director.
I'm here, sir.
Good. Thank you. Make it easy for me, please. Go ahead.
Attorney Mercy Jane Paraslanes, Chief Operations Division.
Yes, sir.
Asuncion, Victor Emmanuel C. Caindec, Regional Director,
Here,
LTO
sir.
Region 7.
Here, sir.
Asuncion
You can go ahead.
Maninas.
Okay, I can see you now. Okay, go ahead. Slow down and let them raise their hands and let them speak up, please. Go
Yes,
ahead.
sir.
I heard already, Mr. Kaindek.
Asuncion Maningas, Chief Accountant.
I'm here, sir. I'm
Who are
here,
you?
sir.
Okay,
Asuncion
I can see you now. Asuncion.
Sheila Rodriguez, Accountant 2.
I'm here, sir.
Okay, I see you from the bottom corner. Right. Go ahead.
From the Philippine National Police, Your Honor, they are represented by Police Lieutenant General Cesar Hawthorne Binag.
Cesar Hawthorne. Binag.
Hawthorne. Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, that's a famous author. But that's not his family name. Binag is his name.
Binag.
Binay, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, now, may I see you?
Okay.
Raise your hand, please.
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
Where are you?
What?
No, he's there by himself in his office. Staff keeps telling me you're in a conference room with a lot of people. All right. Apparently, there is another guy there standing up. Go ahead. Thank you. Go ahead.
Hello, with him are Police Major General Alfred S. Corpus.
Okay, ano yung, Yes, sir.
General Corpus, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm
Okay,
the one.
the body of General Corpus is there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Corpus
Police
means
Major
body, so the
General.
body is there.
Yes, sir.
Police Major General Marnie Marcos Jr.
Mabuhay si Marcos. Ano ba si Marcos?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Present, sir.
Good afternoon. All right. I'm just trying to liven up the meeting because you're also stern and quiet. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
A
Police
little quicker,
Colonel,
please.
Police Colonel Reynaldo Tamondong, and Police Captain Jessica Maria Mamuri.
Police Colonel Tamandong, raise your hand, please, and say yes, I'm here.
Sir, I am representing General Tagum. Sir, I am representing
General.
I am Colonel Alan Nobleza, sir. Alan Nobleza. Representing General Tagum, the Director of the Highway Patrol Group.
Yes, SPG.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Police
Next, please.
Captain, Police Captain Jessica Maria Mamuri.
Miss Mamuri, are you there so that I can give you all the praises that you deserve?
Yes, sir. I'm here, sir.
Who are you?
Sir, I'm Police Captain Jessica Maria Mamuri. I'm representing the PNP Legal Service, sir.
Miss Mamuri, I can't see. Can you raise your hand?
Yes, sir.
Sorry. Oh, there you are. Okay, Miss Mamuri. Okay, I praise you, Miss Mamuri, for speaking out. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Mamuri.
From the BIR,
Who?
from the BIR, Attorney Larry Barcelo, OIC Assistant Commissioner.
I'm here,
Ah.
Your Honor.
Will you raise your hand, please? Can you see him?
Your Honor, I'm here.
You're here, but I cannot see you, so it's useless. I cannot see you. Can you raise your hand? Oh, there you go.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Even strong men wear pink, right?
Yes.
In the pink shirt. Right, go ahead.
Attorney
Joke, but anyway.
Attorney Bernardino Paul Somera, Chief Regional Investigation Division, RR13 Cebu.
What is RR? Is that railroad?
Revenue region, sir. I am
What does
present.
RR mean?
Revenue region, sir.
Sorry?
Revenue region.
Good. Okay, all right.
I am present.
Thank you very
And
much.
Attorney Roy,
Mr. Bernardino Paul.
Welcome, sir.
Roy who?
Attorney Roy Sean
Roy
Tancinco,
Sean
Law and
Tancinco. Are you there, sir?
Yes, sir. Present, Your Honor.
Bibigyan kita ng cheese pagka nag-present ka. 5 ka lang eh. Okay, thank you.
Your Honor.
All right, go ahead. Thank you.
From Data Bridge Asia Incorporated, Mr. Rene Banzon, Executive Director.
Yes, we called him already.
sir.
Marcelino Vidal, are you there?
No, sir. Mr. Marcos Justo is here from Joint Venture of Columbia Technologies and UCH.
Uch, okay. Ang daming Marcos Okay.
Morning,
Mr.
sir.
Marcos
Si
Justo.
Marcos. Sige.
This
All
man
right.
here.
He's raising his hand, Your Honor.
Yes, I can see him. Yes, go ahead.
And from PPI JKG, Mr. Martin Haring.
Where are you, Mr. Martin?
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here.
Oh, I don't see your face. You're German?
No, I'm from the Netherlands.
From?
From the Netherlands.
So you're Dutch. All right.
All right.
Are you so you want to save money by not pushing your button so I can see your face?
I am on video.
You're not in my video. Internet problems there or here? Sige, all right. We'll consider it there. Try to keep doing that. Go ahead. Sino pa?
Representative from the Office of the Ombudsman, Attorney Asriman Rafanan.
Hi, thank you very much. Where is Mr. Rafanan? Rafanan. Attorney Asriman Rafanan. That's the way to pronounce it, Rudy. You're really a Castilla. Rafanan. Where is Mr. Rafanan?
My apologies, Your Honor.
Ilocano yan. Adino si Rafanan.
Nandito siya kanina, sir. Baka na...
Are you there, sir? All right. Sino to? Oh, Marcos Justo, you were called a while ago. You didn't answer.
Sorry, yes, sir.
Marcos Justo.
I'm here.
Okay. So you are. Thank you. All right. Wala na? Oh, no. All right. Let me just ask a few questions. I'll try to be quick. Some of them have been answered. Let me just say it. Director General, will you state the facts? The facts are there was a bidding in 2013, correct?
2013, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. 2013. And then when the
money
bidding
appropriated was supposed to be 3.8 billion. Unfortunately, they only had 187 million, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anybody here from LTO who can answer that during that year, Mr. Secretary, former Secretary Lutilla? Secretary Lutilla?
Sir? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here.
So you had no money. You only had 187. You needed 3.8 billion, correct?
Yes, sir.
But you still went ahead with the bidding and somehow was able to get another 447 million. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
And after the bidding, it went to the Supreme Court. Who brought it to the Supreme Court? Attorney Lutinya?
Sir, it was because of a notice of disallowance, sir, that was issued by the COA.
That's correct. COA issued a disallowance saying that you are not authorized, and you ought to know that because you are supposed to be a crackerjack lawyer. And you know that you cannot bid if there is not enough appropriation for the effort, correct?
Sir, with due respect, sir, in this case, that was not the law.
That is not the law?
In this particular case, sir, there was basis under the General Appropriations Act at the time when the bidding was conducted that we could proceed with the preparatory work, sir, and not sign the contract until a multi-year obligation authority is obtained.
Which you did not have, correct?
Yes, sir, but under the law at that time, sir.
And which
the
COA
requirement-
rightfully pointed out? Is COA there? Can I have COA? You can make this quick. In fact, I'm just going through the facts. COA said that you were not correct by going into that bidding until finally you were able to get from the General Appropriations Act a 3.8 billion, and when it was brought to the Supreme Court said it's now moot and academic. Is that correct, COA? COA, turo naman yung sa akin yung COA.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who's speaking?
Attorney Melissa po of DOTR1, COA DOTR1.
Melissa, thank you, Melissa. So that is correct, right? Because of that, the Supreme Court said also that it has become moot and academic, meaning you corrected the error. They corrected the error. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
But they were in error from the very beginning.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And then the Supreme Court said appropriate persons responsible for that, or words to that effect, should be nonetheless be responsible. Correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And there are penalties in connection with that. All right. For example, in the case of Jacomir versus Abaya, the court concludes that MVP SP did not follow the timelines provided by Section 37 of RA 9184. As earlier decided, the project did not have the adequate appropriation when its procurement was commenced on February 20, 2013. Contrary to the provisions of Section 5A, 7 and 20 of RA number 9184, the DOTC and the LTO likewise failed to secure the MAOA or multi-year obligation authority before the start of the procurement process, even though MVP SP is MYP, multi-year program involving multi-year contract. All these irregularities tainted, I repeat, tainted the earlier procurement process and rendered it null and void. That was the preliminary finding of the Supreme Court. To continue, at the outset, however, the court has stated that the present petition has been rendered moot and academic by the appropriation for the full amount of the project fund 2 years later in GAA, just 2 years later or 1 year later, 2014. Said appropriation cured whatever defect the process had. Sounds like you were given a pass. Nonetheless, from the very beginning, ab initio, you were correctly cited by the COA and by the Supreme Court as not being in accordance with law. As to whether continuing on, as to whether the responsible public officials should be held accountable for the irregularities in the procurement process of MYPSP, the court deems that it is not the proper forum, because it is the Supreme Court, to resolve the issue as it is not a trier of facts, and it cannot receive new evidence from the parties to aid it in the prompt resolution of the issue, which meant to all lawyers there that cases would have to be filed against the people who did this. Now, what is the penalty for this? Koa, Miss Linga, Melissa, pinatulad ko sa inyo yan eh. Ang penalty noon pagka ginawa nila yan? Kung tinuloy yan ng Supreme Court, anong penalty?
Your Honor, yung mga public official po, ang decision po kasi ng COA, doon sa dispositive portion ng decision ng COA, lifting the ND, is to refer the case to the Office of the Ombudsman for the filing of cases if necessary.
I guess we are in luck today. Mr. Rafadan has still to show. So the Director General is hereby directed to send all these facts, including the statement of Ms. Melissa, that the COA has already referred it to the Ombudsman and apparently the Ombudsman has not acted. Would that be correct, Melissa?
Kung meron na pong referral from our COA PLO, i-verify ko pa po, sir, pero under the dispositive portion of the COA decision, may instruction doon sa PLO COA to refer the case to the Office of the Ombudsman.
As a result, Melissa,
Yes,
and
Your Honor.
the current LPO, di ba damage was done to the public because it was inappropriately done, untimely done because you had not the full amount, and because of that, was there a delay in the issuance of plates?
Yes, sir. Yun yung consequence nung mga irregularities sa procurement ng plates.
So hindi tayo nakapagbigay ng plaka dahil sa pagkakamali ng Department of Transportation at saka ng LTO at that time. That's correct, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yun yung consequence po.
Ito ngayon ang sinasabi ng anti-graft law, causing any undue injury to any party, including the government, or giving any private party any unwarranted benefits, advantage, or preference in the discharge of his official, administrative, or judicial functions to manifest partiality, evident bad faith, or gross inexcusable negligence. This provision shall apply to officers and employees of officers or government corporations charged with the grant of licenses or permits or other concessions. The penalty is imprisonment for not less than 1 year, nor more than 10 years, perpetual disqualification from public office, and confiscation or forfeiture in favor of the government of any prohibited interest and unexplained wealth manifestly out of proportion to salary and others. Will the Director General please submit the letter already citing the facts? And even if the Supreme Court has said it is moot and academic, you heard Melissa of COA say that it has been referred to them and they should act on it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Now, having said that, let me go to another point. There is a commitment to public interest, isn't there, Melissa? Under Section 4A of the Code of Ethics for Public Officials and Employees. It says commitment to public interest. Public officials and employees shall always uphold the public interest over and above personal interest. All government resources and powers of the respective officers must be employed and used efficiently, effectively, honestly, and economically, particularly to avoid wastage in public funds and revenues. Continuing on, Section 4B, professionalism. Public officials and employees shall perform and discharge their duties with the highest degree of excellence, professionalism, intelligence, and skill. They shall enter public service with utmost devotion and dedication to duty. They shall endeavor to discourage wrong perceptions of their roles as dispensers or peddlers of undue patronage. Now, let me ask Region 7 Director, what's his name? Kaindek. Are you familiar with all these transgressions made by the office of the LTO and the DOTR in 2013 up to 2015 or 2016? Do you have knowledge to that effect?
Your Honor, I only joined
Alam niyo po
LTO.
ba yan?
Your Honor, good afternoon. I joined LTO in January 2018, Your Honor.
Yes, but you're armed with the knowledge of how the LTO operates. Meron ka bang natikman na mga complaint ng mga tao na sinasabi wala pa yung mga plaka namin, wala rin yung yung mga ORCR namin magmula pa noong 2013? Meron ka bang narinig ng mga complaint na ganon?
Yes, Your Honor. We have received complaints at our office, Your Honor.
Napakarami ba?
A significant number po, Your Honor.
A significant.
Yes, Your Honor.
Would that mean also that nahirapan sila ang publiko? Dahil kung magkamisan, pwede niyong hulihin dahil wala silang plaka. Kahit na hindi niyo
Yes, Your
hulihin,
Honor.
naabala na sila. Tama ba yan?
Yes, Your Honor. We have encountered cases in apprehensions, Your Honor, na may mga motorsiklo na tumatakbo sa daan na wala pong rehistro ng LTO.
At tanungin ko naman ang HPG. Na-encounter niyo ba yung mga walang plaka o ang plaka ay lumang-luma na? Kanina dumaan ako dito sa may Fort Bonifacio. Nakita ko yung isang plaka, lumang-luma na. Hindi ba nyo dapat inuhulihan? Dapat inuhulihan. Pero dahil nga naabala itong pagbibidding, dahil nagbid sila at dumating sa Korte Suprema, di ba naabala? Maraming bang nagsasabi sa inyo pag inuhuli nyo, walang plakang maibigay ang LTO? Who is representing HPG? Can you show me right away, please? Dami-dami nyo dyan.
Your Honor, inuhuli po namin yan, sir. Lalo po, sir, yung we are implementing the campaign, sir, on yung one-time victim namin na lambat bitag sasakyan. Kasama po, sir, yung mga wala pong plaka at yung mga kuwan po, yung mga lumang-lumang plaka, sir. Pinapara po natin
Hindi
yan.
ba Colonel Alan Nobleza, hindi ba dinadahilan sa inyo, hindi kami nabigyan ng plaka ng LTO?
Sir, karamihan, sir, ganyan po, sir, ang dahilan. Hindi pa, sir, na ibibigay yung plaka galing sa LTO.
Kahit na nagbayad na sila, sinasabi ba nila nagbayad kami pero walang binibigay na plaka?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bali ganun po, sir, yung ibang
So madaling sabi, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Maraming nagsasabi,
Opo,
nagbayad na
sir.
sila, wala pa silang plaka. Tapos maaabala pa pag hinuli nyo.
Marami po, sir, na mga ganyan, sir, na reason ang binibigay sa amin, sir, ng mga motorist na wala pang binibigay na plaka yung LTO.
Tama yan. So naabala rin kayo dahil hindi naman nyo dapat pakialaman niya kung alam lang. Sinabihan ba kayo ng LTO na huwag nyo muna hulihin yung mga yan dahil wala kami naibigay na plaka?
No, sir. No, sir. Hindi po, sir.
So madaling sabi, binabiolate nila yung sa Code of Ethics na dapat magsilbi with the highest public interest in mind at saka highest professionalism in mind so as not to inconvenience the public. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, sir. Opo.
Tama kayo. Dahil binasa ko na nga yung batas at yun ang sinasabi. Kaya nga tayo nag-iimbestiga dahil ayaw na natin maulit ito na kawawang-kawawa ang publiko, nagmumura, nagagalit, at hindi maintindihan ko ano ang batas sapagkat huli sila ng pulis, hindi rin alam ng pulis dahil hindi nila sabihan, o di kaya naman nagbayad na nga sila, nagdoble bayad pa uli. Tama ba yun? Tatanungin ko yung regional director ng Cebu. Totoo ba nagdoble bayad sila dahil nagpalit sila ng plaka ng mga nagbayad na sila? Tama po ba yun?
Sa pagkakaintindi ko po, Your Honor, the old plates, yung green and white na plates, pinalitan ng black and white plates na nire-refer natin ngayon na bagong plaka po, Your Honor.
At ngayon lang talaga medyo nakakahabol ng konti. Di mo ba totoo? LTO Assistant Secretary Egay Galvante.
po.
Ngayon lang kayo nakakabawi, di ba? Ngayon lang kayo nakakapag ng plaka.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, hindi natin makakaila na noong mga panahon na yon, napurnada at nahirapan ng mga tao, na nagbayad na sila, tapos magpalit kayo ng black plate from green plate, nagbayad kayo kahit na wala pa kayo maibigay na black plate ng araw. Tama po ba yan?
Sa akin pong sa pagpasok po ng aming panunungkulan, hindi po kami naningil ng doon sa mga papalitan. Sa pagkakaalam ko po, maaari pong gano'n na nangyari nung nauna. Pero nung pong sa bagong administrasyon, hindi na po nang naningil ng karagdagang amount para sa pagpapalit ng plaka.
Tama naman po yun, sabagat wala kayo maibigay na plaka, pero naningil sila. At meron pang, di ba ng tornilyo? Tama po ba yan?
Sa pagkakaalam ko po, Your Honor, yung tornilyo kasama po doon sa presyo ng dating plaka, Your Honor.
Pero sinita ko yung mga kapitbahay ko, yung mga kotse nakita ko, labas ko ito mga staff ko, at marami silang nakita mga plaka na wala nung tornilyong sinasabi ninyo. Ordinary tornilyo lang, pwede na ikabit.
Yes, Your Honor. Sa bagong plakang inisyu po natin, simula nung mga vehicles registered ng 2016, wala na pong special na tornilyo para sa plaka, Your Honor.
Yun ang problema eh. Sa mga tweet, alam ng pulis rin yan, alam rin ng highway patrol yan, na pagka hinuli nila at yung tornilyo ay iba, pero nakakabit naman yung plaka, ay dapat hindi na nila huhulihin yun dahil there is substantial compliance of the law.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pagkakaalam ko, dapat. Hindi ba? Tama, pero meron pa rin iba na nahuhuli. So, dapat may talagang inconvenience at cost damage to many of the public yung ginawa na bidding na nagsimula noong 2013. Yun ang pinagmulan lahat itong gulo na nawalan ng plaka ang mga four-wheel vehicles, pati mga jeepney, pati mga trucks, at pati na rin ang mga motorcycle vehicles. Tama po ba yun, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you agree with that, Secretary Yabra? Wearing your Sambeda red t-shirt.
Yes, Mr. Chair, along that line, we agree po with Asa Calvante.
You agree that you're wearing your Sambeda red t-shirt?
UTR shirt po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I just wanted to be sure we're all on the same page here. Because really, it cannot be denied na nahirapan ng tao. At talaga ang laking pagkakamali nila Secretary Abaya dahil unang-una, meron man ang utos sa inyo dyan na Mr. Lotilla na palitan lahat ng plaka? Ba't ang lakas ng loob nyo magpalit ng plaka at ang lakas ng loob ninyo magpabiling na wala pang pera? Di ba Bisaya kayo, Secretary Lotilla? Kaibigan ko yung kapatid niya eh. Pareho kami nasa student council nung araw. Tama po ba yan? Oh.
Yes, sir.
So mali talaga. Eh,
Sir,
lalo na... yes, sir.
With respect, sir, the project po was started precisely because of the same concerns that you have, sir, dun sa security, sir. And that's the reason why na there was a project to change all the plates para maging uniform po at saka that there will just be one plate that will stay on in the vehicle for as long as the vehicles are still registered and running. And that is the reason, sir.
I think I know that the project was noble. And I agree with you, sir. Tama 'yon. Pero kamali-mali, nagbid na walang pera, pagkatapos hindi na nagawa ng plaka, nagkaloko-loko na ang ating nangyari. Kaya mali ang plakang pinapakita dyan na LTO 1234. Para lumabas LTO 123. Na 123 na ang tao ng LTO at the time. Hindi ako napapatawa, pero yun ang sinasabi, di ba? Pag naloko ka na 123 ka, nag-mayor ako nung araw, sir, na 3 eh. Anong 3? Na 123. Niloko. So, beside the point is, I know that your intentions were correct, but when you did not have that. I'm glad to see that my good friend Egon Cayosa is here, the President, Your Majesty of the Integrated Bar of the Philippines. I'm one of your subjects, Your Majesty. I'm a lawyer too. Welcome to the meeting or to the investigation of this hearing once again. So, did anybody in LTO at that time, Mr. Lutilla, did anybody try to tell the public, oh, wala, hindi kami makakapagbigay ng plaka muna? Did you tell the HPG? Because it's
Sir,
a noble project.
Sir, what happened
No, you
was,
did not because you were back, right? You were back.
Sir, what happened, sir, was the project was already being implemented, and then it was stopped because of the NDA. So there was already partial delivery, sir. As you noted in your slide, the deliveries were already at around 58% of the plates, sir, together with the screws. And then bigla ho lumabas yung NDA ng COA, which
That
was
is not my
later
question,
on.
sir.
Sir.
My question, and you're right, I said that because I know it is so. But since na-postpone, since nauldot, since hindi natuloy, di ba tungkulin ng isang government official? Hindi ikaw, dapat yung DOTC secretary o yung LTO at that time na si Alphonse ba? Alfonso Tan, na sabihin sa mga tao, sabihin sa mga pulis, sabihin sa HPG, sabihin sa apat na sulok ng Pilipinas, wag muna kayo manghuli dahil may kaso, hayaan nyo na muna yung lumang plate at wag na kayo manghuli muna. Hindi nangyari yun.
I-confirm ko po, sir. I will ask, sir.
If you don't take my word for it, I will tell you, hindi nangyari yan. Because angal ang mga tao. Hindi mo ba narinig yung sinasabi nila, nagbayad na kami pero hindi kami binigyan ng plaka? Lahat ng tanongin ko, yun ang sinasabi.
Sir, sa akin nangyari rin po yun eh.
Well, just because it happened to you doesn't mean that it is na you're okay. What is your point? In fact, sir, Mr. Lutilla, your man, Alfonso Tan, no? Even issued saying kailangan hindi pwedeng gumamit ng plaka na wala yung mahiwagang tornilyo na lock. Hindi pwedeng gumamit doon. Nakalagay sa mga unang order nyo, dapat may lock. Ito, 2 years after it happened na hindi na kayo nakakasupply, tumitigil na supply dahil may kaso na, naglabas na itong memorandum na ito. Dated June 2015. At sinasabi niya, it shall constitute improper attachment. Kung wala yung mga tornilyo na yan, it shall constitute improper attachment thereof and shall be ground for being penalized with a fee of 5,000 pesos. Under Section 2, Joint Administrative Order number 2014-01, dated 2 June 2014 for strict compliance. Attorney Alfonso Walang Karapatan. I'm sorry, Alfonso Tan. Kasi karapatan mag-issue niya kung totoo nakakapagbigay kayo ng plaka, bakit kailangan niya sabihin, ang dapat in-issue niya sa mga pulis, would the HPG have appreciated that? Nasasabihin sa inyo, sir, huwag na muna kayo manghuli dahil wala pang plaka. Kung nakita niyo instead na kailangan hulihin pagka wala yung tornilyo na yon, siyempre, alam niyo na may order na dapat hulihin yan, huhulihin niyo. Would that be correct, Mr. Nobleman from the Highway Patrol Group, Colonel Nobleza?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Opo,
sir. Yes, sir.
Di ba that would be an act of nobility, right? Ganda ng pangalan mo, Nobleza.
Yes, sir.
That would be an act of nobility and humanitarian in the sense na hindi na mapapahamak ang tao. It was only in 2018 that the use of LTO screws became not mandatory after everybody has been screwed. Sorry, so to speak. So, Mr. Lutilla, you're telling me something that I know, but you're not being accurate. The fact is, wala kayo sinabihan, and the fact is, dinagdagan nyo pa ng penalty at papatunay na talagang ang hinahabol nyo. Ano ba ang date sa 2015? Kailan ba ng-election? 2016?
2016.
Alam nyo, gusto ko sana itanong ito. Tatanungin ko na. Malapit na ang eleksyon di ba? Sinabay-sabay natin magpalit ng plaka, hindi ba? Ang yun nga lang, baka dahil masama ang intensyon, hindi natuloy. Pero nakapagbayad na ang gobyerno. Nakapagbayad na ng halos kalahating bilyon. Kung di ako nagkakamali. Tama ba yan? Ha?
3.8.
Nabayaran ba yung 3.8 billion? O, nabayaran na pala yung 3.8 billion. Which means, it is all possible. You know, in the Blue Ribbon, we investigate cases here. Lumalabas, yung malapit ang eleksyon, malalaki yung kontratang lumalabas sa Department of Health, sa Department of Transportation and Communication, at nahuhuli namin. Yung Dengvaxia, ganyan ang ginawa. Yung gagawin ng Department of Health, yung Dengvaxia, pinilit. Tapos pinilit rin yung mga city, yung mga health centers na nilagay sa eskwela na hindi natuloy, na tinawag rin ang pansin ng Court of Appeals na isahuli ang pera dahil walang nagawa, pero nabayaran na. Kailan ba tayo titigil sa ungguyan dito sa ating republic na ito? Inuunggoy ang tao, niloloko ang tao palagi. Did you want to say something, Mr. Lutilla?
Sir,
Go ahead.
As far as I know, sir,
Yes, sir.
hindi po nabayaran yung buong 3.8 billion na yun po, sir, because it depended on the delivery, sir. Kaya nga po, hindi na nag-deliver po yung yung may kontrata po because nahinto po yung payments because of the notice of disallowance.
Pero sa totoo lang, hindi naman natuloy yung notice of disallowance Binayaran nyo taon-taon. Tuloy-tuloy ang bayad, Mr. Lutilla. We do our homework here, you know.
With respect, sir,
that's what you call the, yung year to year, di ba? Multi-year obligation. Yun ang nangyari dyan. Yes, sir. I'm listening to you. Your Honor.
Sir, with all respect, sir, I will verify, sir, but I believe, sir, that it was not a complete payment, sir, because it was dependent on delivery, sir. And kaya nga po hindi na po nag-deliver yung contractor because wala na pong bayad because of the notice of disallowance. Hindi na po nagbayad
I would advise you to be very careful, sir, because you might be bordering. You're a fellow lawyer, and you might be bordering. Because the contract was what you call a multi-year obligational authority. Every year na magbabayad. In fact, ang PPI, JKG contract is still alive until now. Tama po ba yan, Director, Secretary, Assistant Secretary Galvante?
I believe so, sir.
It's still alive. In fact, nakakagulo sila doon sa proprietary ownership kaya hindi magamit ng husto. Nakatali kayo. Tama po ba yun, sir? O yung tinatawag na manage over order management system?
Dito po yun sa mga sumunod na labas na po doon sa kontratang yun.
Totoo po yun, pero hindi nila magawa dahil sinasabi ng PPI na kailangan magpaalam muna kayo sa amin para pahiramin namin kayo at bayaran nyo dahil because we have a proprietary interest. Sabi ng Trojan yun. Yun ang sabi ng Trojan. In other words, sa pasukan ng LTO ng Trojan horse. Lahat ng gagawin nyo, kailangan susunod kayo sa Trojan. Kaya kahit na ginagawa pa ng PP ay JKG, yung kontrata na tinapatapos ninyo, kailangan kumuha ng permit dito sa Trojan. So that means the contract is alive. And that means they will be paid. And they need the digital signature or the QR code of the new plates which Trojan proprietarily owned. Now, I know, Attorney Otilla, you come from a very good law firm, and you should be aware of this.
Sir, with all respect, sir, that was not in the original contract, sir.
Yeah, but nonetheless, I'm just answering you because you keep saying, keep giving excuses that I think you ought to have caught from the very beginning. Now, let me just, is Mr. Martin Herink there? I saw him a while ago. Martin, are you there?
I am there, Your Honor.
No, you're there. I'm here.
Yes. I'm in Netherlands
Thank you.
at the moment.
Thank you. Let me just ask you, did you write a letter, did you receive a letter from Trojan Computer Forms Manufacturing Corporation?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Ever?
Yes, Your Honor.
7 February 2020?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have a copy of that letter, sir?
I have that somewhere here, yes. Yes, I have.
Can you read it to us? And can you show it to the on television, on the camera? On your camera, before you read it?
That would
Please
be
proceed.
a little bit to reproduce it right now because it is in our server. So I can't show it right now.
Go ahead. Go ahead, do it. Can I show this to you?
This is probably the letter, yes.
This is probably the letter. Shall I read it to you if this is indeed the letter?
All right.
Your wish is my command, sir. 7 February 20, under the heading Trojan Computer Forms Manufacturing Corporation. Mr. Martin Herink, Director J. Nyren BV. Is that the correct pronunciation?
Correct.
Nyren
Yes.
BV?
Kniren, yes.
Kuniren, okay, I'm educated. At A. Cokerstrat, is that correct?
Right.
Cokerstrat, that's the correct pronunciation. 4462 ET GOES, Ghost,
The city, yes.
Netherlands. And this is a letter from Giovanni S. Tan. There are a lot of Tans here. Dear Mr. Herring, we wish to inform you that our services to revise the order management system, OMS, to accommodate your finished plates with MV prefix will cost 250,000 euros. As discussed during the meeting at the office of the Assistant Secretary, Edgar C. Galvante, late last year, where you were present, this cost will be chargeable to J. Kiniren, DV, and not to LTO. Should you agree to the above cost, please sign on the space provided below so we can make the proper preparations. Thank you, truly yours, Giovanni Estan, Trojan Computer Form Manufacturing Corporation, and J.H. Tomjes, EAST, GmbH, and Company, and KG Joint Venture. Is this a faithful reproduction of the letter you're referring to?
Yes, this is the letter, Your Honor, and this shows that the OMS was a closed system, and as Mr. Lotilia already said, the digital signature was not originally in the contract; it was later added.
So the point is, it would appear, and before I continue, kindly send a formal copy of this to the Director General of the Blue Ribbon Committee.
I will send a copy of that.
And by closed system, you mean that it's not open to everybody. It means you have to ask permission before you use it. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Thank you. I'm trying to read your mind. Anyway, to make a long story short, Doesn't this indicate that, by the way, who do you represent, Martin? Who do you represent?
I represent my company, JK BV, JKG, as plate manufacturer, and PPI JKG Philippines Incorporated.
And this is the same company that bidded in 2013. Is that correct, sir?
That is correct, yes. And we already delivered. We already delivered the amount of plates until there was the COA disallowance.
And of course, you were paid whenever you delivered. Is that correct?
We were paid for the delivery of the plates only, not more than that.
Not the?
We were delivered for the plates that we have delivered.
Of course. And you were paid annually, or whatever you delivered there annually, you were paid. Is that correct?
Not annually, we were paid by invoice on delivered plates.
Can you submit to us all the invoices from 2013 up to the present that you claim you were paid by the government? Is it LTO who pays you?
I think that is quite possible, yes.
No, I don't want the possibility. I'm not in the realm of possibility. I'm talking about giving me receipts, giving Broom or Blue Ribbon copy of the receipts to indicate that you were paid by the government or by whoever it is that paid you. Is there anybody else that paid you?
No, we were paid by the government, and we can submit the receipts.
The government will be in LTO.
LTO, yes.
So that shows that, and I'm not trying to debate with him, with all due respect to you, Mr. Lutilia, I'm just answering to you that the contract kept going on and on and on, and you were being paid as it went on. Affiant say it not. So having said that, going back now to my good friend, Attorney General Galvante, let me ask you then that you seem to be having problems because somebody has a proprietary interest in something that the government ordered. You paid for it, you're supposed to be supplied. Dapat bibigyan kayo ng plaka, bibigyan kayo ng numero, binayaran nyo sila, kahit na taon-taon nagbabayad kayo. Pero pagka nagbago ang bidder niyo, hindi nyo magagamit dahil sinara nila, hindi nila binibigay yung kanilang corporate order management system. Tama po ba yun?
Your Honor, if I may clarify,
please do.
Nung pong hindi nagpapatuloy yung delivery ng JKG, propose ko po kami ng pag-procure ng bagong plaka. Although tumutugma pa rin puro sa dating modelo, pero ibang kontrata na po ito at ang nanalo po doon is Trojan. Yung pong hindi pagkakaroon ng kapareho with the previous, yung pong isusupply nilang natitirang plaka, in-advise namin sila na i-convert nila sa ngayong adapted na format na po ng plaka, yung binigay po ng Trojan. At doon po nagkaroon ng konting discussion kung paano nila maitutugma yung ngayong i-deliver nilang balance na plaka doon sa bagong format po na ina-adapt na ng LTO. Although yun po ay na-settle na rin at kaya po yung kanilang plakang dineliver, nagagamit na rin po natin.
Okay, alam ko po ang nangyari doon, pero tinatanong ko sa inyo, bago nangyari lahat yan, nahihirapan sapagat any contractor, sino mang contractor na gustong mag-enter sa bidding ninyo sa plate production, must buy the DigiSig from Trojan.
That's why JKG.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
So, yan ay galing sa JKG.
JKG was made.
Your Honor.
JKG was made to pay yung royalties na tinatawag. Na 250,000 euro ang sinisingil nila ng Tongis. Hindi ko na maintindihan yung mga pangalan dyan. Tongis, panay foreign eh. Tongis. Tama po ba yan, sir?
Your Honor, pwede po bang payagan yung chairman ng bidding committee namin to amplify itong pinag-uusapan natin.
Kayo
Your
po
Honor.
muna sumagot. Tama ba yung sinabi ko? Di mo ba totoo yun?
Tama po yun. Hindi dapat na, kumbaga, ma-hostage po ang LTO ng dating supplier. In fact, ang pabantayan po namin...
That is the word I was using my staff. Now, hostage ang gobyerno. Now, hindi dapat ma-hostage yan. Yan ang kasama sa aming gagawin na in aid of legislation. Na hindi na dapat pumayag ang gobyerno kahit na kailan na na-hostage. Sapagkat nangyari na ito dati. Siguro narinig nyo yung nung araw sa mga lisensya. Sa NBI, yung gulo doon na ginawa ng Stratcom. Diba? Yung Stratcom ang siyang may hawak ng susi ng code. Hindi niya mabago dahil kailangan dumaan pa yung nanalo doon sa Stratcom. Kaya now hostage. Inaalis natin itong mga ganitong paraan sa gobyerno. You can appreciate that, I'm sure.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Now, you wanted your head ng back ninyo na magsalita dito. I hope COA is listening. And Director General Mr. Kimbo, I suggest you call the Ombudsman for me and say that his representative is not here. Ha? Wala. Si Rafanan?
Dito siya
Hindi
kanina, sir, pero hindi ko alam kung bakit umalis.
Oh, then, dapat isumbong yan sa kanyang boss.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Kung may telepono kayo ni Mr. Rafanan, tawagan nyo siya.
Video.
Yes,
Ayun na pala, naka-orange siya. Naka-tangerine. Oh, lumabas na si Shriman Rafanan. Ilocano ka? Manong?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ba't nawawala ka? Napakinggan mo yung mga narinig mo kanina tungkol sa sinabi ng COA na dapat ang ombudsman na ang haharap dyan.
Yes, Your Honor. We will check if the COA submitted the referral to the Office of Ombudsman.
No, don't make a liar out of COA. I know COA. COA send it to you. At least that's what I understood. Melissa, is that correct? Baka hindi niya pinadala.
Ay, sir, Mr. Chairman, ang ano ko po is i-verify namin kung na-comply na po ba yung instruction ng commission proper. Kasi may instruction po dun sa dispositive portion ng COA decision.
Na?
Na-i-refer po yung ng Prosecution and Litigation Office ng COA sa Office of Ombudsman yung case.
So, kung hindi pa napapadala yan, you're now on notice, Mr. Rafanan. I grew up with some Rafanans in Olongapo. They were good people. And there was a Rafanan in Comelec. He was also good. Pero masyado siyang marami nakalaban doon dahil may pitch siya. Ikaw kaya, are you a good man, Mr. Rafanan? Remember, you're under oath.
Definitely, sir.
Definitely. Okay. Huwag ka mabibigo sa akin. Ha? Sinusiguro ko lang na narinig mo at may gagawin ka. Tama po ba yan?
Yes, Your Honor. We will coordinate her with the corporate office.
Hindi ko po kayo maintindihan. Naka-mask kayo. May katabi ba kayo dyan? May katabi ka ba dyan?
Malayo naman po.
Meron po ba kayong katabi dyan? Ha?
Malayo naman po, Your Honor.
Ang malayo. Pwede mong tanggalin yung mask mo kung malayo. Bibigyan mo siya ng COVID made in Ilocos. Okay. So malayo siya. Siguruhin mo ha. Red Cross ako. Gawin mo mga 3 metro, 2 metro ang layo. At huwag kang babahin, huwag kang hihinga. Okay, go ahead. Ayos ba? Narinig mo na. So you are on notice, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Nonetheless, the Director General is instructed that Mr. Rafanan is present here and he heard evidence, uncontroverted evidence, that there were violations of the law committed that the Ombudsman should prosecute immediately. Would that be possible, sir? Thank you very much. You are so kind to me. That's why I love you a lot. Now, let me just go now to Ano yung sasabihin ng back ninyo, General Galvante?
Yes, Your Honor. Nandito po yung aming chairman ng BAC, the person of
Pangalan niya, Vera Cruz. Maganda
Yes,
sine
Your
nung
Honor.
araw yun. Si Bert Lancaster, saka si Gary Cooper. Vera Cruz. Go ahead, Mr. Vera Cruz, you're recognized.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Salamat po sa pagkakataon. Gusto ko lang po ma-explain yung OMS. Yung pong OMS, it was a requirement sa terms of reference namin starting ng procurement ng 2017. Because when we assumed office in July of 2016, tama po kayo, the clamor of the people, nasaan na po ang plaka nila. So that is why it was a blessing na yung Supreme Court and as well as the COA lifted the notice of disallowance doon sa JKG PPI contract. So, because of that, para po ma-implement kaagad yung kontrata at ma-deliver yung plaka, we recommended for the amendment into of the changing situation po. So that is why when we procured plates in 2017,
You mean when you procured another supplier?
yes, Your Honor. Ito na po ang
Sino yung supplier ngayon?
Trojan Tonyes joint venture po.
Okay, Trojan agad. Alright.
Yes, tatlo po ang nag-bid dito in
Continue,
2017. And then Trojan po ang nanalo. Yung pong OMS was a requirement. It is actually, yung digital signature po is a security feature, no, to prevent yung mga unauthorized introduction of bogus plates. Kasi yung pong digital signature should comply with ISO 20248. So that would prevent any unauthorized introduction or production of plates. Kasi po naririnig natin mga doble plaka and everything. So this has been the terms and conditions doon po sa PUR since 2017. It was repeated in 2018, 2019 up to 2020. Tapos ang question po, bakit po ang JKG
2018, 2019.
bakit po ang JKG nagbayad ng 200,000 euros doon sa Tonyes? It is a matter of exigency, sir. Because at that time, JKG has no digital signature. So they cannot access the OMS. Now, to facilitate things, JKG and Tonyes agreed that, okay, we will allow you the use of our digital signature, but you have to develop yung sa inyo, no? So para meron pong plaka ma-deliver yung PPI JKG, nag-agree sila, and then yun, na-produce na po ang mga plates na delivered by PPI JKG. At saka, hindi po ito a closed system. Any supplier po provided that they comply with the ISO 20248. In fact, Your Honor, the JKG, ano na po sila? Because they have been supplying us plates, nakapasok na po sa OMS. In fact, itong UTS, nakapasok na rin. Ang ginamit ng JKG na digital signature is owned by UTS. I don't know their arrangement, but the fact is that ginagamit nila yung digital signature ng UTS po. So yun po talaga ang reason noon for the digital signature. It is a security feature of our order management system. And the order management system is under the control of the Land Transportation Office. Thank you po.
I'm aware of that, and I don't agree with your last statement because now I'm going to ask Mr. Mabuhay si Justo Marcos of UTS. I will ask Mr. Marcos, were you given a contract by LTO? Can somebody turn off their computer because nagbabounce?
Yes, Your Honor. No, we only...
You were given a contract, right?
No, Your Honor. We only received in 2018 a notice to proceed.
January 8, 2019, correct?
We received only a notice to proceed, Your Honor.
Yes.
When was that? January 8, 2019.
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. Did you have a hard time trying to supply in accordance with the contract that you entered? Did you have any difficulties? Can somebody please turn off their computer? I-mute nyo muna para hindi tayo nahirapan. Hindi na makita dito.
Definitely, Your Honor. We had a very hard time, and I have a complete chronology which is stated that at least we have submitted over a dozen of letters directly to LTO for asking to get access to this closed system.
Did you say you had dozens of letters to LTO pleading with them so that you could actually, fulfill your side of the bargain?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Your side of the contract? And what was the reply of LTO?
Until up to now, we're still waiting, Your Honor.
Did you say 12 letters?
Around, yeah.
12. A dozen.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're Spanish, aren't you?
Yes, I'm Spanish. Marcos.
See.
Yes.
We have a Filipino Marcos, so don't claim Marcos. Marcos.
Perfect.
Even if it's the 500th anniversary of the arrival of the Spanish ship led by a Portuguese who was killed by a Filipino because the Filipino fought for his country.
Oh, thank you. I'm learning about
just so you know your history. Anyway, Senor Marcos, so
yes, Your Honor.
You said you had 12 letters and 12 letters that were not answered. Who did you send those letters to in particular?
Yes, in particular, myself as the vice president of our group and as well through our previous partner, CTI.
And who was the addressee in LTO? Is that General Galvante? Is it Mr. Veracruz, Senor Veracruz?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
Which is which, Veracruz or Galvante?
To both of those gentlemen, Your Honor.
To both of them?
Yeah.
Will you please give us a copy? You say you have notes.
Yes.
And can you show it to me? Can you wave it to me?
Yeah.
Can you wave the documents to me?
Unfortunately, I have it here on the laptop, but I can share them with you, Your Honor.
We will send it to the Blue Ribbon Committee. I will now give it to you, and the Blue Ribbon will receive it right now. Pwede? Pwede, Ustad?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Arriba.
Yes, Your Honor. In this context, I would also to point out that we even offered to the LTO to donor or to order to donate this system and a complete open system, which would give the opportunity to any kind of let's say license plate manufacturer to process their digital signatures.
So you are saying you even offered to give them an open system?
Exactly, Your Honor. And even to donate this open system for free.
So, what is it? So it's true then that there are two options to overcome. Un momento, señor, por favor.
Sí, Your Honor.
Okay. ¿Conoces Marcelino Pedal, señor?
Sí, señor. Lo conozco.
Do you know Marcelino Pedal?
Yes.
So you know him. Now, he sent a letter, and I show it to you, to Romeo Veracruz on March 8, 2019. But before you do that, Dame tú, por favor, envido a la cinta azul.
Sí, señor.
¿Entiende
A
usted?
sus órdenes. Absolutamente.
Las notas with your letters. You know, my Spanish was not very good.
Muy
But
bien.
you can understand me, correct?
Excelente, señor. Excelente, señor. Perfecto.
Flattery will get you nowhere with me. Sorry. I'm just
Muy
kidding.
bien, todo muy
But
bien,
anyway,
señor. Gracias.
okay. So this letter says an UT system will be added to the Trojan Tonja system or replace it. It says replace it. Actually, I'm just correcting it. We would provide an open solution which enables LTO to work independently and even to work using QR codes from our competitors. But by that time, you already had the contract, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
When you sent this letter, you already had the contract with
Yes, Your
LTO.
Honor.
¿Es
Correct.
verdad, señor Veracruz? Is it true?
I think I received that letter, Your Honor, but when we were discussing that, I told them that they should first comply with the terms and conditions of the contract. That is the delivery of sample plates to be examined by the Land Transportation Office. Ganun po yun.
So you're saying you responded to these letters?
Almost every day kasi, Your Honor, nandito sila sa LTO, no? And then testing their samples doon sa plate making plant namin. So pag meron silang sulat, pinag-usapan lang namin dito sa opisina. Kasi it is more of a technical, Your Honor. What we really need is the digital signature as it is provided for in the terms of reference.
Señor Don Veracruz, you are a lawyer, aren't you? Abogado ka?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Alam mo na the best evidence in any transaction, especially naniningil ka, would be a formal letter, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Bakit hindi mo sinagot?
I cannot recall.
May resibo eh. Papakita mo, sinagot mo eh.
I cannot recall having responded formally, Your Honor, because it is always a topic of our conversation.
Well, that is your defense, and I'll just advise you, Senor Veracruz, the Section 5 of the duties of public officials and employees in the performance of their duties. All public officials and employees are under obligation to act promptly on letters and requests. All public officials and employees shall within 15 days from receipt thereof respond to letters, telegrams, or other means of communication sent by the public. The reply must contain the action taken on the request.
Yes, Your Honor.
I will now ask you to answer yes or no.
Yes, Your Honor.
You did not, didn't you? Because you assumed that just because they were there every day you were talking, that is your defense. You don't have to write them a letter.
I view it as a prompt action on my part to discuss with them personally, Your Honor.
You're like me. I act right away when there's a letter. I call them and I will act, but I will follow it up with confirming our conversation. Did you confirm any conversation you had?
I cannot. I will check our file, Your Honor, please.
And do you see any exception to this section that you must react promptly in writing to any letter sent to you? Do you see any exception in the law that you cannot write right away to answer? Meron ba exception yan?
Maybe
Alam sa kanina pa yan. Sige, sabi niya, awanin. Awanti exception, Manong. Ilocano ka, di ba? Mr. Veracruz, ikaw Cagayan, I think.
From Ilocos Sur, Your Honor. My parents are Ilocano, but I was born in Zamboanga del Sur.
Nako, talagang matalim yan. Chabacano ka na, Ilocano ka pa.
Cebuano po.
Cebuano, okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Talagang magaling na lahi ang Ilocano at saka Cebuano. So, hindi naman kita ihuhuli. Sabi ko lang sa'yo, dapat sasagutin mo ang mga
Yes,
sulat
Your Honor.
para hindi ka natatanong ng ganito, nakakapagpapawis.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Now, let me ask, now you had difficulty. What other difficulties did you have, Senyor Marcos, con LTO?
We had the difficulties that I have sent over my technical team to do testings on the 14th of May 2019, and we were given the statement by the LTO executives and the technical team that one day there was no decision maker from Trojan Tönnies to get access to test ourselves. The second day they came up with an excuse that the technical counterpart from Tönnies were on leave or on holidays. And then in August, I have been by myself again there with a pre-notice of about 4 weeks before that we are coming and we would like to do the testing. And once again, we only got excuses by Trojan Tönnies that we could not get any granted access to the system. So we had not a real chance to do our testing, even though I have been also by myself as a representative there. I've been sending my stuff over there, and there was anytime an excuse.
Gracias. By this time, you already had a contract, yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. And you were offering them an open system, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Just to protect you from soborno or bribery, all right?
Correct, Your Honor.
I'm not asking you to correct. I'm not asking you to respond. I'm saying, just to protect you from being accused of bribing. You already had a contract. You were just trying to fulfill your obligation by offering them an open system so you can finish it, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Now, Secretary Galvante, Senyor Vera Cruz, bakit hindi nyo tinanggap?
Kasi, Your Honor, meron pong ibang suppliers and then yun na po ang ginagamit namin na OMS. So, tapos hindi pa naman sila nakapag-present ng sample na talagang papasok sa system namin. Kaya po sila pabalik-balik because they don't have the digital signature na compliant doon sa ISO po. Yun lang po ang problema nila.
Sir Vera Cruz, sinabi mo, merong ibang supplier.
Yes, the previous one, sir.
So marami kayong supplier, ganun ba?
Oh, yung 2017.
Tonyes. Iba yun.
Tonyes.
Kaya nahihirapan sila. Ano yan?
Ano lang, sir?
PPI. Dati na yun.
PPI, JKG. Nakapasok naman po sila. Yung PPI, JKG. Ito lang UTS. Wala silang digital signature na pwedeng mapasok sila sa OMS namin. Yun lang talaga ang balakid, Your Honor. Yun lang talaga. Wala nang iba.
Ano yan, nakakahilo kayo eh. Dahil si Martin, sinabi niya, nakapag-supply siya. Paano siya nakakuha ng permit sa PPI, JKG? Tapos sinabi naman niya, narinig niyo na itong si Marcos ng Colombia, gusto Marcos ng UTS. Sabi niya, may contract rin siya sa inyo. So, ang dami niyong supplier. Ba't nagkaganon? Ito nga, ang ganda ng offer niya. Sige, para mawala na yung nakalambitin kayo, nakatali kayo, na hostage kayo nitong Trojan, bibigyan pa nila kayo ng open system. Bakit namimili kayo ng kontrata? Nagmamadali tayo, di ba? Everyday na hindi magawa yung plaka, nadidelay ang tao, napapagod yung tao, nahihirapan yung tao, nahihirapan ng pulis. Di ba totoo yun, Mr. Vera Cruz? Nahihirapan sila?
Opo, nahihirapan po kasi wala pong plaka. Pero we were doing really our best, no, na makapag-produce ng plaka po.
Eh, yun
Kaya
nga,
po-
ba't binigyan nyo yung Colombia pagkatapos ayaw nyo tanggapin na pwede silang gumawa na hindi sila manghihingi ng permiso dito sa kay Trojan.
hindi.
Why are you preferring Trojan? In other words, diretsahin na kita. Mukhang may preference kayo sa Trojan.
Wala po sir, wala po kaming preference. Yun lang po ang
Well, your actions show otherwise.
kasi yun po ang
Nagmamadali tayo, di ba? Let me give you an example, sir. Nagmamadali tayo dahil matagal na walang plaka. Nagmamadali tayo dahil nagbayad na yung mga tao, wala pa yung plaka. Nagmamadali tayo dahil maraming nagpapalit ng plaka. Gumagawa ng sarili ng plaka. Nagmamadali tayo dahil may pinapatay na walang plaka. Eh bakit hindi nyo tanggapin yung tatlo kung makakapag-supply mabilis? In fact, nakalagay pa sa batas, pwede kayong gumamit ng mga nakakalaboso, mga preso para bumilis. Hindi ko maintindihan yan. Bakit hindi nyo ginawa yun?
Inintay po namin na they will comply with the terms of reference po, Your Honor. Doon po sa pag-submit ng sample plates before delivery na ito po ay mabasa ng system po namin.
Isa lang ang pwedeng manalo sa bidding. Yung ba sinasabi mo, Mr. Veracruz?
In a bidding, yes, Your Honor.
Eh bakit sinasabi ni Marcos nanalo rin sila?
Yes, sir. In fact, na awarded sa kanila yon. Yun lang.
Oh,
cancel ang contract.
hindi na isa yun. Dalawa na yan. Tapos may nakabitin pa PPI. JKG. Nakabitin pa. Tatlo na yun.
Yes.
Ano yung sinasabi mo?
Nagdi-deliver po sila.
Hindi ko talaga tanong kung nagdi-deliver. Ang pinag-uusapan natin dito, isa lang ang pwedeng manalo. Dahil na-delay kayo sa PPI, nakapag-deliver pa rin yung PPI. Sabi ni Martin, di ba? Nakapag-deliver pa sila. Ngayon, pumasok ito si Marcos. Sabi niya, nanalo rin siya, pero ayaw niyo tanggapin yung binibigay niya. Sabi ko pa nga sa kanya, baka bribery yan. Pero hindi naman pwedeng bribery dahil awarded na sa kanya at gusto lang niya mapulfill yung kontrata niya. So, tatlo na yan.
Your Honor, if I may explain, kasi doon po sa terms of reference, dapat po yung plaka na di-deliver nila, it should be processed by the current LTO system po. Ganun po yun.
Sorry.
Hindi ko marinig.
Tama ba yung sinabi ko? Hindi ba sabi ko, ang sabi ko sa inyo, si Uch nanalo sa technical. 2018.
Awarded po sa kanila yung contract, sir.
On award. So award, tama ka. Sinabi mo kanina, isa lang ang pwede manalo. Pero, nung nanalo ang Trojan, in-out nyo na sila. Hindi nakasali yung Uch.
Out na ang Trojan.
Out na ang Trojan dapat. Kung nanalo yung Uch noong 2018. Nag-supply ang Trojan 2016, 2017. Pagdating ng 2018, nagpabid kayo, ang nanalo si Uch.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sa madaling sabi, bakit hindi natuloy yung kay Uch?
Meron silang misrepresentation, Your Honor, na yung ginamit nila na digital signature, pagmamay-ari po ng JKG. In fact, may sulat si JKG on the day of the testing on May 15.
Ano ba, abogado ba kayo ng Tonjis?
No, sir.
Kaya sila magdemandahan. Ano pa kailan natin sa kanila? Nanalo siya, ba't yung pinapanalo? Dapat outright, you should have disqualified them.
Yes, Your Honor. We will...
Lumalabas, nag-abogado kayo kay Tonjis.
Hindi po, Your Honor.
Ano hindi? Ba't yung pinapanalo? Tapos sabi nyo, ayaw pumayag ni Tonjis, pahiram sa kanila yung kanilang award. Kaya nga from the very beginning, sinabihan ko na si Secretary de Galvante na hindi tayo dapat, siya nagsabi inulit ko na sinabi pero yun ang sasabihin ko na hindi kayo dapat hostage. Hindi ba dapat natanong nyo, malayo pa na itong, anong yes mo? Saan ka nag-yes? Hindi pa ako tapos
We should not be hostage by any process or technology na na-procure namin.
Hindi yan ang tinatanong ko sa iyo. Di ba dapat you should have foreseen na itong DGSIG nitong DGC ng Tonjis, papahirapan nila lahat ang mga contractor na bago na hindi sila papapasukin sa plate production. Anong pakialam natin? Di sila magdemandahan. Ang gusto natin, matapos yung kontrata natin, yung plaka. Bakit yung kinansel yung goods? Di lalong tumagal na naman.
Kinansel po kasi nagreklamo po ang JKG, PPI. Kasi ginamit ng OATS yung digital signature ng...
Ang nagreklamo, JKB?
Yes, Your Honor. Meron po silang sulat. Nandito po sa amin.
Ano reklamo nila? Sila nga gagamit
That was the basis of the cancellation, Your Honor.
Sino ang sumulat?
Si Mr. Haring po.
Nagsusulat ng JKG, samantalang pinayagan nyo na silang gumawa ng plaka.
Si Martin.
Yung kay Martin Harnick.
Your Honor, yung digital signature ni Martin Haring, yun ang ginamit ng OATS. Kaya sinulatan kami ni Mr. Haring na that was unauthorized na use of their digital signature.
Paliwala na yung JKG na naghahabol ng kontrata, iko-complain nila na hindi nila magamit, na gusto nila mag-supply, pero dapat ang complain nila ayaw paggamit sa kanila nitong Tonjis, di ba?
Di ba? Ganito po yun. Yung digital signature po ni Mr. Haring, ginamit po ni OATS. Kaya nag-complain si Mr. Haring sa amin na yung paggamit ng digital signature na yun is unauthorized. Yun po. Ganun po yun.
So, you are judge, jury, and executioner. Sabi mo, you settle it among yourselves. You cannot make the government wait. Ulitin ko ba yung sinabi ko? Hirap na yung mga driver, hinuhuli sila ng pulis. Wala silang plaka, nagbayad sila. Maraming patayan dahil walang plaka. Hindi ba, kahit sa police power, may justify mo na yan eh. Bahala kayo, pag-debantahan kayo, nanalo ka, gawin mo yung kontrata mo.
Yeah.
Saka dapat kayo nakakita noon. Bago nyo ba binigay, nakita nyo na yan.
Actually, Your Honor, binigyan namin sila ng sufficient time, about 6 to 7 months, no, to deliver.
Hindi pinatatagal nyo lalo. Di ba ang kontrata nyo taon-taon? Ngayon hinarang ito ng Tonjis. Next year, bibid na naman sila sa kontrata. Hindi ba sila natakot na pag hinarang nyo yun, baka hindi na sila manalo next time? Ha?
Na-turnover na po, tinornover na po yung OMS sa LTO po.
Afterwards. Pero at that time, they were pressing the issue na amin yan, hindi nila pwedeng gamitin. Ngayon sinasabi yung after the fact na naman. Panay kayo after the fact. That's why we're all screwed up. You're a lawyer. So that is where the delays are. Yung mga nanonood at nakikinig, nakikita, nung hindi na makasupply yung PKJ na Alquan, nabot kayo ng 2015 ba o 2016 nung nagpabid kayo ng bago, di ba?
2017 po.
2017, doon kayo nagpabid.
Yes,
di umandal na. Ngayon, gusto ng PKG, ng PPI, JKG, gusto nila mag-supply. Dahil may utang pa sila sa inyo na hindi nila nabayaran.
Yes, Your Honor.
Kaya sumulat sa inyo si Martin Harrick, di ba? Di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Na sinasabi, pagkatapos, pati itong, dahil gusto nyo rin magmadali, ewan ko kung yun ang rason, pati itong kay Marcos, pinayagan nyo. Ewan ko kung anong ginawa nyo. Basta pinayagan nyo, dahil taon-taon na ang kontrata. COA, what do you think of all this? Melissa, my dear. Tama ba yung ginawa nila? Mali ko, mali.
We will look into it, sir.
Excuse me, ma'am?
We will look into it during this audit po.
All right, but on the face of it, the government is owed thousands of plates by PPI JKG. So, binayagan nilang mag-supply. And then, nag-bid sila for January or 2017 or 18. 17, 18, taon-taon na. Following the multi-year obligation. Alright? So, having said that, kung nagbibigay na sila noon, they were really trying to make sure na matapos nila yung mga plaka dahil galit na galit na ang tao. Ang ginawa nila, siguro, sige, patulungin natin itong si Marcos in addition to PPI. Ang problema, hinaharang nga itong Trojan. Pero hindi tama na magbibigay kayo ng kontrata para kayo kumuha ng bato, ibubugpok niya sa ulo nyo na yung kumuha ng kontrata, sabihin niya, amin yan. Pag natalo na sila at nakuha kayo ng iba, sabihin niya, amin yan, hindi nyo pwedeng gawin yan. Kaya kinorek nyo ngayon. Ayaw nyo nang ma-hostage. Tama ba ako? Undersecretary Yebra ng Sambeda Law School.
Yes,
Di ba mali yun? Maling-mali. You put the government in a very, very difficult position. You made the government a hostage to all these contractors. It's what you call regulatory capture. In its the purest sense. Any comments? Secretary Galvante? Maybe your problem is you trust your people so much, tumatagal lalo ang kontrata. I respect you a lot, but I've always said, kumisan, mabuti ang tao, kahit ng mga presidente, mabuti, pero pag napaligiran ng mga pating, hindi niya nararamdaman, nadadali siya. Baka pati kayo masabit. So, Mr. Marcos, now that you've seen the way the government operates, will you want to bid again? In this kind of a situation?
Honestly, Your Honor,
would you recommend it to your friends to bid in the Philippines?
honestly speaking, Your Honor, I feel discouraged and not motivated anymore because I really want to show respect. I even wanted to donate a free system, an open system, and I've been rejected. So I feel not really, let's say, motivated to participate in the next tender under these existing conditions, Your Honor.
You're saying, I'm sorry, Spera, I'm sorry, you're saying there is no ease in doing business in the Philippines.
Under the current conditions, Your Honor, no.
Thank you. Because that is the point. I have sold, I brought in investments in Subic, brought in investments in tourism. People believe me in the Red Cross because we act fast. There are no shortcuts that we undertake, and we always think of the people at heart. Yung aming mga kababayan ang inuuna namin pag-iisip. Pero dito, mukhang hilo. Nahihilo sila attorney Veracruz. Nahihilo si Undersecretary Lotilla. Baka pati siya, Secretary Galvante, at saka si Secretary si Abaya, definitely, nahilo yan. Definitely, baka ito si Secretary ng currently ng Transportation. Tugade, tiga Sambeda rin yan. Oh. In other words, there is no rule of law, there is no predictability, there is no consistency, walang continuity, and no reliability. And you expect them to go to the courts all the time. That is the problem that I see here. What does the IBP say? Attorney Cayosa. Attorney Cayosa, are you still there?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's no predictability, there's no consistency, there's no continuity. You just heard an investor say it's very, very difficult to do business in this country, and I would not like to do business in it unless they correct it. No wonder we don't have jobs. Do you agree with that, sir?
We agree and we understand their predicament, Your Honor. They need consistency.
You see, there are laws, and you're a lawyer yourself. You're the king of all the lawyers. And you know, there's every law for everything. You don't answer a letter, you can have a case before you. You do multiplicity of biddings and you don't enforce it, you have a case before you. You do a bidding without any na walang pera, tinuloy mo pa, you have a case before you. Sinayo mo pang oras ng Korte Suprema. At ang pinakamalaking kasalanan, pinahirapan mo ang taong bayan, yung mga motorcycle riders, yung mga jeepney drivers, yung mga kayo, may mga kotse kayo, mahirap na. At hanggang ngayon, nakikita ko pa yung green and white. Kala ko, lasal nga eh. Wala ko nakikita blue and white or maroon. Kulay, nakikita ko green and white pa rin. Ibig sabihin, hindi lumalabas yung tunay na plaka. So I think we may have a few more questions. Now that we've seen what has happened here, very risky to do business. Yes, somebody asking me, getting my attention. Somebody asking a question. Sino ito? Oh.
Si Martin Hat.
I'll ask you. Secretary Galvante. Also,
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Veracruz. And also, the IBP, please listen carefully to a question. I want to show you a letter here from Trojan Computers, Mr. Martin Herrick, which he already said that this was the letter he sent, right? Or is this a different letter?
Received from Trojan.
Mr. Martin Herrick, are you there?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm there.
I have another letter here dated 5 February 2020. Are you familiar with this letter? Sa inyo kanina.
Which letter are you referring to, Your Honor?
Earlier, I showed you a letter 7 February 2020. Now I have a letter here 5 February dated 5 February 2020. The February 7, 2020 letter talks about you being that Trojan is demanding 250,000 euros for them to agree to your request that you use their
Order management system.
Digital signatures.
Order management system.
Right.
Correct? Now I have another letter here from Giovanni Tan. Now PPK is supposed to finish their contract, right? Secretary Galvante?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Veracruz, do you say the same? Do you confirm that?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I confirm that.
Now, the letter here of Mr. Giovanni Tan to Mr. Herrick says, and I will read it to you. This is in response to your letter. Dear Mr. Herrick, it's a letter by Giovanni Tan of Trojan Computer. He says, this is in response to your letter dated 3 February 2020 requesting Tonjis, blah, 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 to resume the delivery of digital signatures to your company. That means agree na sila. Nabibigyan nila ng digital signatures for the existing contract of PPJ, JKG with the Land Transportation Office. Yan yung tinatapos na ng kontrata, I suppose. We would like to inform you of the following facts and circumstances. Trojan and JH Tomjis PG joint venture is the exclusive distributor of all goods and services. Sa Makatwid, may joint venture sila. Correct? Sinasabi dito, Tonjis will supply for use in the Philippines. Lahat ng goods and services they will supply for the Philippines. PPI JKG is a direct competitor of the joint venture on the contracts for supply and delivery of goods to LTO. During the last bid for the MC blank plates, naging blank na ngayon ha, wala nang numero, blank na lang ang sinusupply. Dahil nga, mamaya tatanungin ko kayo dyan, for CY 2019, both of us were the only parties who responded to this bid. Dalawa lang sila raw ng Trojan at saka nitong kumpanya ni Martin Herrick na sinabi ko na sa inyo kanina. After consulting our lawyer, we got an opinion that supplying PPI JKG can be interpreted by some third parties as connivance among vendors that could be detrimental to the interests of LTO. Wow! May abogado kayo dito ha. Again, in the last bid for MC blank plates for CY 2019, you confirmed to comply with the requirements of a digital signature system in compliance with ISO 20248 as required for compatibility with the LTO order management system. If this is true, then there is no need for PPI JKG to buy the digital signatures from the joint venture because you should be able to generate it yourself. Since you are persistent in requesting that the joint venture supply you with the digital signatures, then we believe you still don't have a digital signature system compliant to ISO 20248. In other words, by using Tonja's digital signature solution, JKG is buying time to develop its own solution. And finally, he says, the joint venture, therefore, has no interest to supply PPI JKG. What is your reaction to this letter, Mr. Secretary? And Mr. Veracruz, Secretary Galvante. Ibig sabihin, hinahabol nyo yung PPI, JKG, sabi nila meron silang supplier, tapos kayo, sabihin itong si Tonjes, we don't want to supply you anymore to PPI, JKG. Anong reaction nyo dyan? Ang sagot dyan yung sinabi nyo kanina, hostage na kayo. Hostage na kayo. Hindi na makakapag-supply yung dating nanalo noong 2013, napipilit i-supply pa, dahil hinaharang na sila nung kanilang dapat maging joint venture partner. So talagang there was never any intention. Ngayon, ang lumalabas nga rito, anong ginawa nyo rito? Nabigyan ba kayo ng kopya rito ng sulat na ito? Mr. Secretary, Mr. Veracruz?
Your Honor, this is Edie Veracruz. We will not furnish a copy of that letter, Your Honor. Your Honor, if I may explain.
What are you going to explain? I'm just asking you a simple question. Yes or no?
I don't recall, but I will check the records, Your Honor, because there are so many letters that we received from these parties.
You know, sinabi ko na yan sabi ko, pagka hindi pinayagan ng BPI, JKG, hindi na nila masusupply yung kakulangan nila sa mulat-mula pa noong 2013 hanggang 2017. Dahil dito sa Trojan. Ano nga yung comment mo?
arrangement nila nung una because we really would like na makadeliver yung JKG ng mga plaka po kasi kailangan po natin ng plaka. Kaya they entered into a temporary arrangement, but that was only temporary. So the JKG joint venture should develop their own digsig kasi marami pa pong plaka silang i-deliver po sa amin. Yan po ang ano natin, nakita namin arrangement nila. Kaya
ang tinatanong ko sa inyo, anong reaction mo dito? Ayaw na nila bigyan. Ang naging reaction nyo, apparently, kumuha pa kayo sa susunod na taon ng ibang kontraktor. Sila Marcos.
Your Honor,
Colombia.
talagang required po sila na merong sariling digital signature. Ito po ay security feature po ng OMS namin.
Kaya nga, kung ibibigay yung security feature na umaandar naman at binigay, magagamit na yan. Pasado na yan, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor. Pag merong compliant ang digsig nila, pasado.
Kaya ano ibig sabihin sa'yo na ayaw ibigay? Di ba sampal sa inyo yan? Dapat hino-hostage kayo nitong lokong ito, itong Trojan? Napasukan nga kayo ng Trojan horse nagbasa ka ba nung Helen of Troy or yung ang tawag doon, yung original yung The Odyssey or yung The Iliad?
Opo.
Nabasa mo yun?
Nabasa ko po yun.
O napanood mo lang sa sine? Helen of Troy, nanood ka lang ng sine?
Yung sine po. Pero nabasa. Pero I recall, nabasa ko yung high school pa ako niyan.
Anyway, ino-olse na kayo dahil hindi na gustong ibigay para sila lang ang magpapasasa. Di ba? Ano?
I-explain ko po.
Mag-ikat ka sa sagot mo.
Yes,
dahil ang susunod ko, mapabato sa'yo, iba na.
Yes, Your Honor. Nag-iingat lang po ako. No?
Okay,
ito
ka.
po OMS, sa Land Transportation Office po ito. What we require from suppliers po, yung sarili nilang digital signature because it is a security feature.
Pero there is no violation. Kaya nga pino-for sale o binabayaran ng lease.
That was a temporary...
Garantisado na yun, sigurado yung DDS. Dahil hindi nyo naman papayagan di ba? At gusto nyo yun, dahil hindi na kayo marami pang kurikodikus. Maghahanap pa kayo, magte-testing pa kayo. Dahil okay na ito. Nung nakita ng Trojan, masarap palang kumita rito sa LTO. Ba't ko ibibigay ito? Under the gun na yung mga yan. Hindi sila nag-supply. Tapos ngayon, ako tutulungan ko babayan. Dahil kung kumuha ako ng bato, pinupok ko pa sa ulo, ako pa mawawala ng negosyo. Sa LTO naman, kumuha kayo ng bato, pinupok nyo sa ulo nyo, dahil sinabi nyo kailangan meron silang security code na hindi nyo pwedeng gamitin, hindi nyo pwedeng awayin sila, hindi nyo pwedeng sabihin, pag nawala ka na, hindi pwedeng tumigil ito. Dapat gagamitin namin security code. Sa amin yan. Di ba? Di ba? Kung ikaw Ilocano, sorry sabi ko, ukin na yo. Niloloko tayo nito. Nagpase, rapaw. Di natin papalam. Hindi mo na alam kung saan ka pupunta kayo. LTO should have stepped in and resolved the conflict for paid production to move forward. The principal thing, ang dapat yung inisip ay yung, gamitin ko yung salita, di ba, Attorney Cayosa? Para sa mga public utility vehicles sa tawag natin, Certificate of Public Convenience. Pareho rin yan, public interest yan. Kahit na private vehicle o kahit na public utility vehicle, pareho yan. Ang LTO ang guardian of public convenience. Noong araw, tawag dyan, Public Service Commission. Nagsawa na, pinalitan dahil walang public service, puro commission. Okay na yun. Tinatawanan tayo nung isang Ilocano dito, si Director Cayosa, si Attorney Cayosa. Tama ba yung sinasabi ko, Attorney Cayosa?
You have a point, Your Honor.
I'm glad at least I have a point, 1 point. So you see, talagang it really is a comedy of errors at the very least. So now that we've seen the what has happened here, who is now supplying LTO? with the plates? Currently.
The current
Di ba totoo,
supplier,
Trojan? Trojan, wala na kayong choice eh.
yes, Trojan and JKG PPI po.
Oh, akala ko, ayaw no. Ba't bumalik na naman tayo sa JKG? Do you know what's happening in your department? They refused. Tapos kayo sasabihin mo, they're still supplying now?
Nakakuha po sila ng digital signature, Your Honor.
Ah, kanino sila kumuha?
Kay Uch po.
Pinapaikot mo ba kami kay Uch na mga ngayon? O tatanungin kita tungkol kay Uch. Martin Herrick, were you coerced by Tonjes to lie so that Uch contract will be terminated? Martin.
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct. I was forced to do that because they had shut off my access to the digital signatures at that time.
Who shut off your access?
10 years in Germany had shut off my access to the digital signatures. And
it's not just the Filipinos that are hard to deal with. Now it's the Germans.
Right. They are always hard to deal with.
What about the Spanish?
Well, actually, you were invaded by the Spanish and we were invaded by the Germans, so...
No, they did not invade us. They just bumped into us. They didn't know where they were going.
Right.
They were lost.
It was also extremely difficult...
Talking to a historian, huh? History graduate. Go ahead. So you were prevailed upon, you were coerced by Uch not to pursue or not to provide supply.
Not by Uch. We were coerced by Trojan Tönjes because
but that is a German company, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Correct. Okay.
Right.
Sorry. You're right. You're right. So how did they coerce you?
By shutting off the access to the digital signatures so that we could not supply plates anymore. At that time, it was also extremely difficult to develop the digital signatures ourselves because even the developer of the ISO 20248 standard was contracted exclusively by Tönjes, so they were not able to give us the algorithms that were needed to generate the digital signatures of our own.
I think I will write the German ambassador about the very bad malpractice that these guys are doing. Tonjes. Would that make you happy?
Yes, it does.
Uh-huh. And even if the Spaniards invaded your country once upon a time?
They also did, yes.
So, and the Germans invaded your country once upon a time as well, right?
In 1940 to 1945, yes.
That's correct. That's correct. So, gentlemen,
but now
I will now ask you, Bartens, I will now ask you, will your company still invest in Germany?
Actually, yes, we do, because the German people at the moment, of course, are quite different and trustworthy. Also, you're
saying that the German people are different than the German government. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Angela Merkel is a good representative of the German people at the moment.
I know it's good, but so I asked you that question because I thought she has good governance. In my view, I love the Chinese people. They're very good people, but I don't like the Communist Party of China.
That is a whole different story, of course. Yes.
All right. So you were coerced. I mean, I'm just trying to laugh at myself here because I'm in this predicament where actually I'm embarrassed that of this situation where several contractors are gypped, and above all, the Filipino people are really swindled ¿Conoces el verbo, word such as Spanish? You know the word for swindling in Spanish? Marcos? Señor Marcos? Estafa.
Once again, Your Honor.
The word for swindling in Spanish is what?
Swindling. Dios mío. I don't remember.
He's not your God, he's our God. Nuestro Dios.
Nuestro Dios. Pido disculpas, Your Honor. Sorry.
All right. But are you familiar with the word estafa?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that swindling?
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Is that swindling in Spain?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Actually, it means trapacero. Huh? In Spanish, it's trapacero. And here, the people are the ones that have been swindled.
Okay.
Among others, you two, or you three, or perhaps you were trying to get a business, and it's the nature of business right now. For example, well, never mind. I don't want to make any more comment. I might get into trouble with the Foreign Office. Now, I will now ask.
But Your Honor, actually, we
Martin,
are.
Go ahead, Martin.
Yeah.
Mr. Go ahead.
It is indeed difficult to do business in the Philippines, especially the predictability is an issue. And at this moment, actually, we are waiting to deliver a stock of plates that we still have for the Second Amendment, which includes also motorcycle plates. So we would ask the LTO to release the Second Amendment of our contract so that we can deliver the motorcycle plates.
What does LTO say to that? Are you going to accept them, or are you going to favor the Germans again, against the Dutch and against the Spanish?
It is actually said it was already signed by Tugade, but it is still pending somewhere in the LTO.
Secretary Tugade signed it.
That is what I've heard. Yes.
What you heard?
Yes.
So you'll have to get a copy. Secretary General, Director General, please subpoena a copy of that letter and all the letters involving this transactions that span 2013 or 2012 to the present.
Yes, Your
all the
Honor.
documents from LTO and from you know we work hard, right? You know that, right? Once upon a time we did Manila paper delineating. Do you remember that? Why don't you tell them that we mean business here in the Blue Ribbon?
We work until 4 a.m. sometimes. And
most of the time. Manila paper. Now let me ask
we use
Senor
analog.
Cruz, Mr. Martin, let me ask you a question. Did LTO Veracruz know about the coercion? Or did Secretary Galvante know about the coercion?
Yes, they know that because I have told them that when I was there in LTO.
You told them. And what was the reaction? What was the reaction of the Secretary?
Well, we have to work with Western News to get it done because we do have to deliver the plates of which we had a large stock at that moment. So also from a business point of view, it was very important for us that we were able to deliver the plates that we had in stock for LTO.
Because you had a business to make, you had targets to make, and that's capitalism all over the world.
That's right. We had a huge stock of plates for LTO and we could not afford to throw that away. So we just had to deliver.
You're not attacking them. You're just saying, let us pass. Is that correct?
Yes. We want to do business. We're not involved in politics.
Well, the truth of the matter is, when I was in Subic, I told all my staff that the best way to succeed here is to let business pass because they know best where they're going, and try to there's continuity right away. Is that the kind of business climate you want to have in our country?
I'm very sorry, but the sound was breaking up. I really could not hear it, Your Honor.
I will repeat. We used to say in Subic that the best business knows how to go about it, so let them pass because it will be faster. 5 Fs. Focus, fast, friendly, flexible, forward-looking. That is my principle in business.
That would be a perfect way to go forward, and doing business would be more easy in the Philippines. And I would love to continue to do business in the Philippines.
Well, we're trying to do that, and that's why we have this investigation. Doesn't mean that we're mocking our own people. I'm really trying to tell them that the way to do business is to make sure that they follow the 5 Fs. And that's, I don't have to charge royalties for that, by the way. Now, let me ask you a question about, so they knew about it. Now, what did the Honorable Assistant Secretary do when you were told that you were being, that your one of your clients or one of your bidders was being coerced? I'll ask Secretary Galvante and then Secretary Veracruz. Did you react, sir? You were told that one of your people who bidded is trying to prevent somebody from fulfilling the contract that has long been delayed. How did you react to that?
Your Honor, my position is that the specifications of what we are asking from the suppliers should be a practice that is recognized internationally, so that not just one bidder can comply with it. No? So yung kanina pong sinasabing maging hostage kami ng isang supplier, hindi po namin gustong mangyari yon. Kaya ang sinasabi po natin, ang aming standard is that anybody who is a legitimate supplier can comply with that and participate. Kaya po hindi namin pinapayagan yung meron pong isang nagdo-dominate ng supply na kakailanganin ng LTO. I think
But you had to go. Go ahead, sir.
That nung
Go ahead, sir.
Nung nakaharap ko po si Mr. Martin, in-emphasize ko po yon na hindi po kami magse-set ng standard na isa lang ang makakapag comply. Open po sa lahat yon na interesado mag-bid.
Kaya nga may bidding tayo eh. Pero going back from the very beginning, this was a contract for how many plates, sir?
Actually, yung pong sa pagkakaalam ko po, yung kontrata ng DKG is around 15 million plates. At again, varying dates of delivery, na-comply nila iba. Pero ito pong bandang huli, nung malift na yung mga natitira pa, malift na yung disallowance, nalift na yung Supreme Court TRO, pinagpatuloy na po yung pagsusupply nila. And then we had this amendment of order na nasignan po ni Secretary para po yung natitira may deliver. In fact, we had to request that the succeeding deliveries should be compliant do sa bagong standard na naiset po namin, na kung saan meron na po kaming katandem doon sa plates ng RFID. Kaya po nagbago yung quantity ng kanilang i-deliver. At doon po sa natitira, yung ngayon sinasabi lang inaantay nilang amendment para makapag-deliver sila, nag-propose po ng amendment to order number 2. Kasi po yung natitirang supposed to be na i-deliver na 1.3 million plates, 621 po doon, yung pang measure ng yung dimension na doon sa luma po na hindi na ito maaring magamit namin. Kaya nga po, nagpro-propose ng amendment to order para po yung natitira out of the 1.3, ma-convert po ito dun sa dimension na tumutugma na po sa bagong plaka pong minamanufacture ng LTO. Kaya po nag-aantay kami ng approval nun para mabigay namin ng notice kay Mr. Martin Haring para yung natitirang about 612,000 plates mai-deliver po nila.
Yes, sir. That was not the question I asked, but I was asking for your reaction. But I think you answered me in a way na dapat hindi nangyari ito kung nag-isip tayo mabuti. Because kung 15 million ang plates, bibigay nyo sa isang contractor, isa nga lang ang kausap nyo, pero pag nadulas yun, talaga pa-delay lahat. Tama po ba yun?
Your Honor, clarifying ko lang po, yung sinasabi kong 15 million, hindi po yan yung bago, kundi tinutukoy ko po yung nauna. At itong i-deliver ni na Martin is yung natitira po doon sa 15 million. At ang rene-request po lang namin sa kanila na maging compliant na ito doon sa bagong dimension ng plate na ginagamit na po ngayon.
So ilan po ang requirement natin kala Martin at saka dito sa mga bagong contractor natin?
Doon po sa natitirang sa natitirang i-deliver ng JKG,
ilan ho yun?
Doon po sa motorcycle plates, may natitira po around 1 million. But kanina nga po, nasabi ko na yung pong mga 621 dito, nakat na nila doon sa lumang size. Kaya pinapigil po namin yon para yung natitira po doon sa 1.3, makat na nila doon sa bagong size na hinihingi ng bagong dimension ng plaka po natin ngayon.
Okay. And what do they say about that? Are they going to change? Kasi plaka na lang yung kinukuha nyo ngayon, di ba? Wala na numero.
Yes, Your Honor. Pumayag naman po sila na i-convert yon na instead of them proceeding the 1.3 million, hindi na po nila mabago yung naunang nakat na nila. Pero yung natitira po, na around 612,000 plates, susunod po sila ro sa rene-request namin na yung bagong size na po ang kakat nila ro sa natitirang materials na i-deliver nila. Pumayag po sila ron.
I understand. Thank you po. I will now ask Mr. Veracruz. Are you still there, Mr. Veracruz?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm still here.
Tatalayin ko lang po kayo. Lumalabas na ngayon na parang nagdagdag kayo kay Martin Sinclair ng plaka sa mga bago. Pero does that mean na ang Trojan na andyan pa pero sila ang pinakamalaking nagpo-produce?
Actually, Your Honor, ang PPI-JK ang pinakamalaki na contract. Kasi may balance.
Pero nagawa ba nila?
Ginagawa po na.
Yun nga sinasabi ko, hindi nga nila nagawa eh. Ilan pa anong kulang nila?
Ginagawa po ng...
Sinabi kanina ni Secretary. Ha?
Ginagawa po ng PPI-JKG po.
Sabi nga sa Kabate, meron pang sa pagkasalukuyan 650,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
Pero doon sa kabila, sa PPI JKG, ilan pa ang kulang nila? Balanse.
Ito po yung PPI-JKG po.
Ilan nga?
Ito po yung pinag-usapan kanina. Ito po yung sa PPI-JKG.
Ilan nga yun? Yung old, ilan pa? 600,000 pa?
Yes, Your Honor, yun para sa bagong design, no, 600 sa
No,
mga
no, no, no,
motorcycle
no.
plates.
Yun ang kay Martin na sinasabi kanina sa akin. Ang pagkakaintindi ko kay Martin Hendrick yun.
Hindi naman sila
Martin
nahirapan.
Haring, I'm sorry. Kay Martin Haring yun. Mr. Haring, what is the supply that you are expected to deliver? 650,000?
Yes, more or less, Your Honor. And I'm sorry that I'm not be able to understand the whole conversation because my knowledge of Tagalog is limited.
They're saying that the 650,000 is for you to comply with the new law because you adopted your design for the old law, but you are now willing to supply the new plates in accordance with the new law.
That is correct, and we have already changed our tooling and our design and our stocks to supply the plates, complying with the new law, and we are already waiting many months for this order to come out. We are ready to start producing.
Now, I'll go back. I'll say it in English now to Secretary Galvante. Has the order been brought out? Or are you still relying on Trojan? Because I know that Trojan has stopped their joint venture. Mr. Martin, Hendrick, do you now have your own code?
Yes. Together with
you
developed our own signatures.
I see. So that's the Dick Gordon e-signature. DGSig. Just kidding. All right. Having said that, you're ready to supply that, right?
Correct. Yes, we are waiting for.
Is the LTO ready to grant you the supply? Asek Galvante?
Your Honor, we're just waiting for the approval of the amendment to order number 2. So that the pending delivery of the about 612,300 plates for motorcycle can already be executed, Your Honor.
12 million? Did you say 12 million?
No, 612,000, Your Honor. That is the
12,000. So it's
pending,
probably Secretary Tugade. So at the next hearing, I would love to subpoena Secretary Tugade. All right? So that we can find out whether they're still going to supply. I just want to be sure that you have now allowed right now, because there is no order, the only supplier right now is Trojan. I keep misplacing the word. It's Trojan and Tonjes. Isn't that correct, sir? Secretary Galvante, at the moment, since the Honorable
Yes,
Secretary Tugade has not signed anything, your only supplier is limited to a single supplier by the name of Trojan, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. Sila po ang nanalo nung last contract.
So Martin is Hendrick is still along with Colombia is still pinning their hopes that they could get a piece of the action. Is that correct?
Actually, it is still part of our existing contract, so we are just waiting for the release of the amendment from LTO. Then we will immediately start delivering. It's still part of our existing contract.
So they're amending your contract? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it has to be amended to the new size of the motorcycle plate.
All right. Okay. So that's it.
Your Honor, if I may. Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
We just got word that the Secretary has already approved the amendment.
Thank you, sir. I'm very pleased because I was going to say I want to be careful that I will not be accused of pushing the Dutch and the Spanish for this contract to push through. I just want to make sure that the public will finally get their plaka. Makukuha na ng publiko yung plaka. Kung gano'n, sir. Tama po ba yan?
Makakatulong po to, Your Honor. Makakadagdag doon sa ating produce na plaka na po sa ngayon, Your Honor.
Gaano katagal kaya po yan?
Actually, Your Honor, patuloy po ang production natin ng plaka. As of now, mga 1.9 million na po ang na-produce natin for motorcycle registered starting year 2018 onwards. At hinati po rin natin ang production para po yung motorsiklo na narehistro ng 2021 magkakaroon na rin po ng plaka. So for 2021 motorcycles registered, meron na po kaming na-produce na around 50,000 plates, Your Honor.
That's good to hear, sir. Kung gusto, maraming paraan. Kung ayaw, maraming dahilan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Now, right now, ang inyong supplier lamang ay si Trojan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sinabi nyo kanina, yes. Ngayon, madadagdagan yung supplier ninyo na sila Martens.
Yung po, yes, Your Honor. Yung pong ilinawin ko lang po, ito yung isusupply nila, yung balance po ng dating kontrata nila na na-convert na ito, natutugma po sa bagong size ng plaka for motorcycle, Your Honor.
Understood po, understood. Okay. Let me just divert a bit. Now that we're relieved that Secretary Tugadi is obviously watching the show. I call it a show because it's a comedy of errors, so to speak. Yan ba? Uurong-sulong tayo depending on the winds of questions. Let me ask now Asek Banoy Lopez, who is head of procurement of DOTR. What is your opinion on all of this? You're head of procurement. Meron ka bang natutuhan dito leksyon? O meron ka bang nakita mga mali na dapat korekin? Attorney Banoy. Asek Banoy. Mr. Lopez. Baka tumakas na ito Ayan, natatanggal ng kuwan. Ng maskara.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Asek Lopez is beside me, Mr. Chair, and he's having technical difficulties. With your permission, Mr. Chair, I will provide him my headphones.
I thought he was having difficulty with his mask. Don't provide him with your mask, please.
No, Your Honor.
I can see him. He's having trouble removing his mask. O, Asik Banoy. Namimili pa kasi kayo ng tao dyan. Mahal yan AirPod. Magkano ba yan? Mahal yan Meron rin ako yan. Napa-under mo na ba, Mr. Banoy? Pagkatapos yung tenga, yung bibig naman, pisilin mo yung push button ng mute. Yan. Sambeda ka rin ba? Sambeda?
Yes.
Ha?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sambeda. Puro kayo Sambeda.
Opo, Your Honor.
Okay, sige. Ano opinion mo dito sa mga napag-usapan natin dito?
Well, tama po kayo pagdating po sa procurement natin, Your Honor, no? Na kailangan po talaga ng proper planning natin sa procurement natin, at kailangan talaga ng transparency, objectivity sa mga proseso natin. Upang sa ganun naman ating kababayan at ang ating mga stakeholders, hindi nila makikitaan o makukulayan man kung ano man proseso ng ating procurement process. So yung mga pinunto nyo po kanina, no, obserbasyon, no, pipilitin po namin sa DOTR at saka LTO po na baguhin kung merong kailangan talagang ayusin po. At kung ano man yung mga obserbasyon din ng ating COA no sa mga nakaraan na administrasyon, ay sisiguraduhin po namin sa pamumuno ng ating mahal na kalihim, si Kalihim Tugade, na wag na po ulitin. Upang sa ganun po ang makikinabang naman po talaga dito ay ating mga kababayan. At kayo nagpapasalamat po kami sa inyong mga pinupunto po.
Talaga mo, under oath ka, ha? Totoo bang mahal mo si Attorney Tugade, si Secretary Tugade?
Katulad din po ng pagmamahal ko po sa inyo, Mr. Chair.
Talaga mga wise guy ang mga taga Sambeda, no? Attorney Cayosa, pinapaikot tayo mga taga UP. Anyway, so tama yung sinabi mo, pero if I go back to the beginning, hindi ba dapat ewan ko kung papayagan ng COA yan, na kung ganyan kalaki na 15 million over the years ang bidding, siguro dapat ang bidder nyo 3. Isa o kaya isa sa kotse, o kaya isa sa panong araw, di ba? Mga plates may nakalagay dyan. Yung plate Olongapo City, meron sarili. Merong Sambales, may Bataan, may Pampanga, may lahat. Tinanggal natin yan, pinag-isa na lang para madaling makita nga yung plate. Ngayon, pero kung hindi naman kakayanin at napapahiya tayo dito, halo-halo na ito mga European countries na nagbibili dito, masisira tayo. And that is why I'm zealously protecting our country's reputation in terms of doing business. Para sa ganun, hindi naman tayo madali tayo makabangon, lalo na pag natapos na itong COVID. Dapat nga, bago pa matapos ang COVID, pinapakita natin may investor tayo. Kaya dapat maayos na ito. Tama po ba yan? Kasi magbibigay ng hanap buhay yan. Tatakbo yung mga motor, tatakbo yung mga sasakyan natin na walang delay, walang risk. What is your thinking about that, sir? Hello?
Mr. Chair,
Asik paano eh?
Tama po, Mr. Chair. Tama po yung sinabi niyo po na as much as possible po, no. While it is maganda po na meron tayong may isang bidder at isang nanalo for single accountability and single responsibility. Pero sa ditong proyektong ganitong kalaki, no, mas kung kailangan nating masuriin ang ating pagpaplano ng ating procurement at kung kailangan natin itong kumbaga we can have multiple players as long as it will not result to splitting of contract which is prohibited under procurement law, we can do so, Mr. Chair.
That's why I said, COA, dahil meron ba may prohibition on splitting of contracts. I'm glad to know that you still remember that as a Bedan lawyer. Now, let me ask you now, magkano ba ang isang plaka? Kano ang cost of production ng plaka na binabayaran ng LTO? Do you know?
Mr. Chair, may I yield the floor? May I defer to either ED Veracruz or the technical people of LTO? Mr. Chair, with your permission. I'm not aware of it, Mr. Chair.
Of course, yes, if you're not aware of that. Secretary Galvante or Mr. Veracruz, you may answer. Magkano ba ang kuha nyo ng plaka? Magkano ka sumagot? Order na kayo ng minute.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Secretary Galvante, you recognize.
Yes, Your Honor. Doon sa motor vehicle po, ang sinacharge po dati is 450. 380 po para doon sa finished plate. Pagkatapos po sa production, kasama na po, lumalabas po ng 70 pesos ang kumbaga estimated expense. Kaya po nag-charge ng 450. Dito po sa motorcycle,
Ah,
You know, sir.
sa
So,
motorcycle
450.
plates po, yes, Your Honor. Sa
70 pesos yung production cost. Yung raw material is
380, Your Honor. 380, Your
380.
Honor.
Opo. Sa motorcycle po.
Doon po sa motorcycle, estimate po sa around 120, Your Honor.
120.
Yes, Your Honor. Yun po yung dating presyo nung around earlier than 2008, Your Honor.
Pwede rin, di ba? Right now, because may planta na kayo, kayo na ang gumagawa. Di ba? Binibigyan lang kayo ngayon ng lata.
Yes, Your Honor.
Magkano yung lata?
Dito po sa bagong plaka, Your Honor, if I may,
Yes, sir.
hindi po nagdagdag ng babayaran. Kung baga, yung po rin na yung presyo na ngayon is around 150. Kahit na po may kaakibat ito na RFID, ina-absorb po ng ahensya yung karagdagang gastos para sa RFID. Hindi po sinisingil yung may-ari ng vehicle para bayaran yung RFID sticker, Your Honor.
So, sticker yung RFID?
Yes, Your
Hindi
Honor.
pa. Okay.
Your Honor.
So, 450 pa rin kahit na may...
Hindi po, yung 450, yung po yung sa four-wheel vehicle plates, pero yung po sa motorcycle, 150.
Pero doon sa dahil lata na lang ang binibigay sa inyo, hindi kayo nakabawas doon? Kasi ang trabaho na lang nyo, cost of stamping or embossing, di ba totoo, 5 pesos lang?
Your Honor, kung tutusin po, kung pre-presyon sa ngayon at present pricing, dapat po magtaas pero binigyan po kami ng advice na hindi po dapat magtaas. Kaya po mini-maintain po natin yung pricing nung dati pa po.
Alright. Yung mga nagbayad ng doble, natapos sila ba yung mga plaka noon?
Your Honor, I will check po yung sinasabing nagbayad ng doble. Pero sa po, sa aming administrasyon, wala po kaming siningil na karagdagang bayad doon sa mga dating nagbayad na. Kaya kung hindi po sila
ang sumingil nyo nakaraang administrasyon. Ang galing nga nung nag-isip nito eh. Ang inisip nila, baguhin natin lahat ng plaka kahit na nakabayad na ng plaka yung iba. The plaka usually last 6 years, di ba? 6 na taon, hindi ba? Nung panahon ng mga dating Pangulo. 5 taon o 6 na taon?
Sa pagkakaalam ko po, wala pong, in fact, yung pong plaka, supposedly, hanggat, kumbaga, buhay po yung sasakyan, yun po ang permanent plate niya. At magpapalit lang po siya kung halimbawa na wala, nasira or whatever, pero ang ibibigay pong plaka sa kanya, pareho pa rin ang numero. Until nagkaroon po ng bagong disenyo yung plaka, kaya lang po nagkaroon ng pagpapalit-palit.
Okay, andyan na po ako, pero sinasabi ko, ang plaka ng araw, panahon ni Aquino, ni Cory, panahon ni Ramos, yung Philippines 2000, panahon ni GMA, matatag na Republika ba yan? Ang pagbabago ng pag nagpapalitan ng presidente, almost yung mag-i-eleksyon. Hindi ko maintindihan bakit ganoon eh. 5 years. Ang term ng Pangulo, 6 years. So pag magpapagawa ka ng plaka mong napakarami, mukhang mayroong planong ibang iniisip. Alam niyo naman ako, yan ang iniisip natin dahil ngayon, bilo nyo, every 5 years mag-aalis na yung bagong dating presidente, magpapalit ang bagong plaka, mukhang sabi nga ni Senator Lacson Commission, baka may tong patch. Wala akong sinasabi wala akong sinasabi. Maaaring magkaroon ng tong patch lang ang sinasabi ko. Now, ito ngayon, biglang binago pag-upo ni Pinoy. Ang nagbago si Secretary Abaya. So yung nakabayad noong nakaraan na dapat tumagal lang 6 years yung plaka bago umalis sa si President Estrada, yun ang kumuha at siningil pa ng pangalawang plaka. Tama po ba yan?
Your Honor, I'll check. Wala po akong accurate information tungkol doon po.
Hindi kayo dating LTO, kayo LTO eh. Si Veracruz, si LTO chairman? Back chairman, Veracruz. At saka si Attorney Banoy Lopez. Mga abogado tayo pare-pareho. Siyempre, titigyan nyo ano ba ginagawa nung araw. Ginagawa nung araw, on the 5th year, nung matatag na republika, papalitan na yun. Ba, magpapalit. Kukuha ng panibago. Philippines 2000. Design ang pinapalitan, pero ganun pa man, magpabago ka pa rin ng plaka. Dahil kailangan ilagay mo yung disenyo ng bagong Pangulo. Philippines 2000 kay Ramos. Ang pinagtatakahan ko lang, at gusto ko alam disenyo, ano ba ang rason? Dalawa, iba iniisip ko, 5 years. On the eve of the retirement of the current president, maraming na ako narinig din sa Pilipinas nung araw sa military, mayroong pabaon pag-aalis na yung Chief of Staff. You're familiar with that, General Galvante, di ba? Nagkaroon na iskandalo dyan nung araw, yung pabaon. Sir?
Nalahad nga po yun sa publiko.
Tama po yun. Tataka ako nung araw, palit-palit. Every 5 years. Ito, nung bago ng Pangulo, si President Pinoy na, at palabas na tayo, biglang pinalitan. Hindi lang yung ano bang na nakalagay sa plaka niya. Teka, titignan lang namin, no? Ano ba nakalagay doon sa plaka ni President Pinoy Aquino? Wala. Ano yan? Ngayon, biglang papalitan lahat ang plaka. Aabot talaga ng at least 15 million. Pero alam ko, hindi 15 million yan. Marami alam ko na mga motorsiklo, halimbawa, hindi na nangunguha ng plaka yung iba eh. Luma na, o tinakbo na yung motorsiklo, o ninakaw. At alam nyo, sinasabi dyan para mawala nga yung nagpapalit ng plaka o yung carnapping. Pero sa totoo lang, nagpalit tayo ng plaka, marami pa rin carnapping. Mamaya sasabihin ko sa inyo, marami pa rin carnapping. So sa madaling sabi, it might be said na kaya nagpalit, Mr. Lutilla, I'm going to ask you this question because you were the ones who said to me, because so that you can reduce crime, you can reduce all these things. But all of a sudden, you give it to one contractor who cannot deliver. And now we have this, it has become a decade-old problem. 10 taon na tayo na mga problema dyan. Halos. Where is the intelligence in that? Mr. Lutilla? Who was the one who said magpalit tayo ng buong plaka? Is it Secretary Abaya or is it President Aquino?
Sir, my understanding was that it was a
Was it
decision.
Marojas?
My understanding, sir, was that it was a decision reached by the administration at that time because of the problem of multiple plates. Yung problema po noon, yung sinatawag nila na kambal plaka, yung fake plates, yun po ang problema noon. Kaya po ginawa yon. Tapos, I think po, sir, with all respect, the defect was not in the contractor because the contractor was able to deliver. The problem was because of the notice of disallowance of COA, because that was the one that prevented the delivery by the contractor. Had the contractor been paid, sir, they would have completed that entire contract. So it doesn't, it's not dependent on how many contractors there are. It's just a question of competence and capability of the contractor.
So you're saying the contractor was defective?
No, sir. I was saying that
You just
it
said
was
it.
the
Competence
the
and
notice of disallowance. Sir, it was the notice of disallowance that stopped it.
and if you
The
trace the root of the
contractor,
disallowance, you know the roots of the disallowance. The fact that you had no appropriations. You just said
Sir.
187,000.
Sir,
187 million.
sir, with all respect, sir, there is a later case to the one that you are citing, issued by the Supreme
correct.
Court.
De la
And
Cruz.
that later
De la
case,
Cruz.
yes, sir. And De La Cruz put
Oh.
finish to the entire problem, sir.
Really? If it did finish to our problem, bakit pinag-uusapan pa natin ngayon? Walang plaka ang tao.
Well, sir, it's
The
a different.
The De La
Yes,
Cruz
sir.
case versus Ochoa, who was
Yes.
Executive Secretary of the President, said the court affirms that there was an appropriation for the MBP-SP under the 2014 GAA. Now, you know damn well and good that you bidded this out in 2013. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So how can there be an appropriations that followed it 2014? In fact, right now I'm even questioning about the question an amendment that comes in after the bidding has been conducted.
Well, sir,
So
the amendment.
all the court is saying here, it affirms that there was an appropriation for the MBP-SP under the 2014 GAA on a bid that was done na ginawa noong 2013. So walang appropriation ng 2013. Kaya nga sinabi, naging moot and academic. At sinabi pa ng court, but it was pointed out that the bidding in Jacomile versus Abaya, ang sabi niya, all these irregularities tainted the earlier procurement process and rendered it null and void. We're both lawyers. You cannot deny that. The
Sir,
court said
I think
there were irregularities. Ano pala yung irregularities na sinasabi ng korte?
Sir, but I think the statement of the court is that all of these things were cured. I think it is a very basic principle of criminal law, sir, that once everything is
Are you
cured.
lecturing me now on criminal law? I'm not talking
Sir.
about criminal law here. I'm talking about graft and corruption. I'm talking about the law at that time says that you had no appropriation, that you have no business. In fact, we cannot even enact a bill without making sure that there is an appropriation with it. And in this particular case, the appropriation followed it after you have already bidded it. Pagkatapos mo mag-bidding, lumusot kayo ng appropriation na 2014. Now, don't get me started. All right? Because don't try to twist your words on me. We're both lawyers.
I apologize for that, sir. If you think that I'm twisting my words, sir.
You are. How do you explain that? Ano yung irregularities na sinasabi doon? I will
Sir.
chase you on that. What irregularities was the court talking about?
Sir,
Insufficiency, according to the procurement's law at the time, insufficiency of funds before procurement. Management cannot claim that there is funds already because of the 2014 appropriation because the bidding started without it. Nag-umpisa na walang appropriation. Kawa yan.
yes, sir. Sir, as I said, sir, we will be submitting a written reply, sir.
Go ahead. Submit all you want. But you don't want to answer it. That's an indication that you're still finding out your theory. Ako napakasimple. I never speak here without citing the laws, chapter and verse.
I
All you're
understand.
citing here is that you're going to submit your so-called memorandum. Luma na yan. Ginagawa rin natin nung araw yan. Magsasabit na lang kami ng memorandum pag naiipit. You know, that's why, you know, you think I'm happy here in the Blue Ribbon Committee. Ang daming palusot. Kaliwat kanan. You should not participate in that. No one should participate in that. Can you imagine? Look at the journey that we have undertaken. Una, isa lang ngayon, biglang tatlo ang foreign supplier. Oh. Tapos ang dami-daming mga palusot na ginagawa na who do you think you are? You think we're fools here? That I'm wasting my time here?
No, sir.
This is not easy, you know. So do not get me started.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
start with you. We're trying to solve the problem. That's why I said maybe multiple bidding. Now you're arguing with me. Sasabihin mo, ang mali. Idadali mo ako dun sa mali eh. Eh kung payagan niya multiple bleeding without splitting it, because all of a sudden, I will now be telling you directly, bakit kayo magpapalit ng plaka na lahat ng plaka papalitan nyo for the next several years, kahit na for the next several years, 15 million. Tapos anong nangyari pa? Nagkasingilan ng pangalawa, nagbayad na sila sa unang plaka, sumingil pa dito sa pangalawang plaka na bago. Sino ang nadihado? Ang taong bayan. Eh ba't nyo ginawa yan? At ganitong oras, late hour of the day, sabihin ko na sa inyo, ang presidente si Pinoy. Sinundan Department of Secretary of Transportation, sino yon? Mar Rojas. He ran for president, didn't he? Didn't he?
Yes, sir.
And then Abaya was his close friend. Both of them are Liberal Party. On the eve of the election, papalitan mo lahat ang plaka? Come on. Sige, forfeit it. I know it's a theory. But I'm going to say that now. You want us to be partisan? That's not being partisan. It is the circumstantial fact na ginawa yan, nagpalit sila ng buong plaka, lahat ng plaka babalitan, motorsiklo, kotse, truck, lahat, sabay-sabay. Kaya nagka-loko-loko, hindi magawa. At pagkatapos, ang daming mga ingay, alingaw na may mga tongpats yan. Hindi ko palang pinupuntahan yan. Dadating tayo dyan. Alright. You know, I try to be as fair as I can. And I am fair. You may not agree with it. So I have the IBP here. I have the ombudsman here. I want to be sure that I am doing the right thing so that if we find any evidence, mabilis ito. Do you think hindi ako humahanap na kakampi? Ang sinasabi ko lang, ulitin ko, ang presidente si Pinoy, palabas na siya. Alright? May ugali nung araw sa military, pabaon, paglalabas na. Alright? Paulit-ulit siya, nangyayari yan. Pangalawa, ang naging DOTC nung araw, si Mar Rojas. Sino si Mar Rojas? Tumakbo siyang presidente. Wala akong sinasabi. Sinasabi ko lang ang facts. At pagkatapos yan, ang pumalit sa kanya, best friend niya, si Secretary Abaya, kasama niya sa Kongreso. Pagkatapos, where are you from, Mr. Lutilla? What's your province?
I'm from Antique, sir.
Antique, Island of Panay.
Yes, sir.
So, having said all that, di umaalis sa akin, isipin yon. And ang nangyari tuloy, kaya galit ako dito, binabaliktad pa ako pati doon mga salesmen ng sellers ng motorsiklo na sinasabing doble plaka, magsisinungaling pa. Alam ni Secretary, alam ni Asek yan, na ang plaka natin hindi ganun kalaki na kasing laki ng television. Na sticker yung front. Tapos pinumura ako, pati nanay ko minumura, duwag yung mga yan. Oh, ayan. Oh, Mr. Lutilla, yan ang plaka, ganyan kalaki. Ayan ang sticker sa na ilalagay. Wala akong pakialam dyan. Sinabi ko lang na dapat makikita yung plaka. Gabi o araw, hanggat maaari. Oh, ang dami ng patay. Pati abogado, pinapatay. Oh. Oh, ayan ngayon ang plaka nyo. Diyan nagsimula ito. Lumaki. Pumasok na kung sa isang pinto. Yung pinto na mukhang merong tong patch, mukhang ang laki-laki ng building para sa dami ng plaka. Oh, masisisi mo ba ang committee pagka ganyan? Oh, ayan o. Submit your memorandum if you like.
Thank you, sir.
All right. I think I've had enough today. But I have not had answers from Veracruz, Attorney Veracruz. Yung mga sinabi rito, nakakagulat ha. Sinusulatan ka, hindi ka sumasagot. Tapos nagpapalit-palit sila ng kwan. Pinapaikot nila yung mga supplier ninyo. Ha? Anong sabi? Hindi ba tayo nahihiya? Tumatawad na lang ako para hindi sila maasar sa atin eh. Sabihin sa atin, mahirap magnegosyo sa bayan ninyo. Oh, hindi ba ang daming tao walang trabaho ngayon? May COVID, walang trabaho? Magbibigay pa kami ng pagkain ngayon doon sa mga nasa lockdown. Hindi, walang trabaho yung mga yan. Bakit walang trabaho? Pati motorsiklo hindi magamit. Walang plaka. Yun ang problema. Gagawa-gawa kayo ng initiative dyan sa mga nakaraan at sa ngayon, sa kalusulukuyan, meron na naman bago. Secretary, wala pa ako doon sa lisensya ng driver. Ha? Yung mga driving school. Pagandaan nyo yan. Wala pa tayo doon sa gagawin na building na ginagawa na nagbibigay tayo kung sino ang paborito. Wala naman masama doon eh. Okay ako, mag-inspection kayo. Pero wag naman ngayon. Pahirap ang iniisip natin na magdadagdag eh. Natatakot ang tao pag pumasok doon, may makikita sila, babalik sila, pabalik-balik, sira pa yan, hanggang magkaroon ng cash suduan. Our people are now have a culture of fear. They have no confidence. They fear even the bakuna. After the vaccine, of course they'll fear it. So, the next hearing, no, I cannot go on April 15. I need to do it earlier. We are going to finish this. Every week, we will do it. What's the next week's date? What? I know it's on lockdown. Are we on lockdown here? April 8, before Bataan Falls. We will work hard here. I'm surrounded by San Beda lawyers, kaya niloloko kayo. Yung iba, teacher pa si Professor Yebra. So, we will have it on, anong date yan? April 8. Anong araw? Thursday. We'll make it a full day hearing. We will finish it. Let Bataan fall once again. My EA is from Bataan and my other researcher is from Bataan and I kid them about it all the time. Buti lang, hindi sila tiga Sambeda, tiga UP sila. Biro lang yan, ha? Pero yung mga Sambeda dito, pinupuri ka, Professor Yebra, that's why you come very close to being untouched because lahat ng mga magaling ka raw magturo. Ano ko nung pinakain mo sa kanila at magaling ka raw magturo.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
And I am just cooling down. Anyway, I would like to see all of you on April 8th, and I will we'll call it at 10:30 a.m. and prepare for a whole day's hearing. We'll try to finish it. I should know I have the record for having the longest hearing in the history of this country. On Blue Ribbon. I think we did it for 14 or 15 hours. What is do you remember that, Rudy? Magyabang ka naman at ikaw napagod eh. Mr. Kimbo.
Killings. Yung Matabato killing.
Yeah, Matabato.
Killings.
Ha?
The inquiry was
Honor, 11 or 12.
12 hours?
11,
I thought it was
between
14
11
hours.
and 12 hours.
Are you talking about the date of the next hearing?
No, yung longest hearing, Your Honor, so far.
Yeah. But the length of the hearing was, I think, 12 hours or 14 hours. You may be correct. Huh? 14 hours.
GCPA, Your Honor.
That was the
GCPA.
Matabato, right? Matabato?
EJK.
EJK. Extrajudicial killing. Not related to PPI, JKG. All right. All right. So, Mr. Kimbo, make sure that we have all the subpoenas ready, and let's do this. Let's finish up. I think we can ask Mr. Rabanan. I think we're ready to make our preliminary report on the procurement. So, Mr. Lutilla, please submit your memorandum because I've already instructed and we have prepared the draft already. And we will write it and present it to the session, hopefully. But now I've become wizened because I've become a little wiser because I'm not going to wait anymore. I just want to make sure. That's why I invite the Ombudsman and the DOJ. We will, when we get the evidence here, the Ombudsman should be able to process it right away. If they can get letters that are unsigned and act on it, with more reason, they should act on the Blue Ribbon Committee's report. Having said that, thank you all very much. You know, that's what you get in this hearing, a little laugh, a little heated reactions. But certainly, do not fault me. I am going to go down to the bottom of this till hell freezes over. ¿Entiende usted, señor Castilla?
Justo.
Señor Marcos.
Sí,
Justo Marcos. Justo Marcos. And the Dutchman, Mr. Martins. Hamrich, all right? Okay, thank you again to Mr. Cayosa. Thank you all. Please pardon me, but I have to ask these questions. I thank the COA. The COA has always delivered well. Thank you very much because I suggest to COA, yung natutuhan nyo rito, pag-aralan nyo. And make some recommendations. Kung ganyan kalalaki ang bidding, talagang hindi matatapos yan. Let us be more liberal and tolerant, but at the same time, wise in the style of people who take money from the government. Maybe you can help us here. Is that okay, Madam ba o Mademoiselle?
Yes, Your Honor.
Huh? Melissa San Miguel Salonga.
Yes.
Salunga. Lalabas
Yes,
tayo
po.
sa Lunga. Palabasin natin yung mga corrupt sa Lunga. All right?
Yes. Opo.
Just please tell your secretary that your chair that the Blue Ribbon appreciates their support by sending a robust delegation. And please, Ombudsman, please, and I'm going to call him, please report to the Ombudsman that I appreciate that they sent you, Mr. Rafanan. Naintindihan mo ako? Mr. Rafanan, kasano?
Yes, sir. We will relay it.
Masabol ko tutulong nyo. Parang matagal natin lahat ang mga loko-loko sa gobyerno. Matawa na naman si Mr. Cayosa. Kagaya niyan eh. Sige. Since our meeting, how many people have been killed, Mr. Cayosa? Riding in tandem? Riding in a car? A mayor was killed riding in a car. Nobody has told us what plate number. Right?
Many don't have plate numbers, Your Honor.
Can I ask the Highway Patrol, do you have a plate number on that car that killed Mayor Gomez, Mayor
Aquino.
of
Aquino.
Sangka? Aquino.
Uh,
Meron na ba kayong plate number doon?
right now, sir, we don't have yet, sir. Right now, sir, but we will find it out, sir.
Hindi na ako umabot sa inyo. Pero dapat ipaliwanag nyo kung ba't ang daming ganyan namamatay na hindi nasosolve ang kaso. Wala tayong lead. And I already asked you to, I asked your highest authorities that a case is not solved by having somebody in custody. A case is solved when the door is slammed in its cell.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not when you say, papakita nyo, nahuli namin to pero hindi naman ma-solve. And we will see each other do sa police court hearing because lalabas siya. All right? And I thank the PNP for their cooperation. And there are a lot of good policemen. There are also a lot of bad policemen. So let's clean it up. Thank you all very much. And this hearing is suspended.